Hello, everyone. This awkward
Hi, hi, hi.
silence means that we're live. How are you doing? It's been like a month and a half.
It
It's been
has
a
indeed.
very long time.
It's been a very long time. It's been so long that I forgot where to find our sweet synthwave music. Let's
No,
find it.
not the sweet synthwave music. You can't begin without that.
Some great synthwave music.
Mute stream. Boop.
Oh, let's mute it up so it's not super loud.
You are muted, Kelsa.
How did you mute herself?
Right. That's because I was been typing earlier. Sorry, I was just saying pop out chat.
Yes, that's what I did as well.
It's very important, okay? All right.
Pop out chat.
Bam.
Ooh, bam.
Bam.
Oh man, I've missed you all and I miss this game. I'm glad we're back in the action, so to speak.
Back.
Yeah.
So what's everybody been up to for the past however damn long it's been since we've seen each other?
Trying not to die because I lived in DC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you? Are you safe? Everything cool?
Safe. That's
You were working at the airport while people were being told they're on the no-fly list and shit, so that sounds kind of scary.
all of the shenanigans you see about the flying stuff is happening at my airport.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
any of those shenanigans is me. Not me necessarily, but like when they say, "Oh yeah, it's this airport at DC," all of those have been the one I'm at.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that's always fun. Thankfully, it's on the opposite side of the airport from me, but we still have our share of cuckoo banana crazy people rolling through there. And
Yeah, I am sure.
it's not a fun time. It was great watching the walk of shame afterwards before people started getting their no-fly lists, because the like 2 or 3 days after they were just kind of sadly filing out, but they all felt like they needed to just be jerks and assholes on their way out too, so that was fun.
Mm. Wow.
Yep. I don't have to work Sunday, which is where they expect the next big set of problems to start. But you have the 17th, you have the 18th where something can happen, you have the 20th, which is when I actually will be back at work, the inauguration day. But the 18th and the 20th are paid holidays, so that's something.
Hooray.
I am
Yeah.
also off on Monday for the paid holiday.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm off on Monday, which is nice, but I do have to work on inauguration day, so that'll be fun.
Hmm.
Yeep.
Yeah. Well, at least you're getting paid for it. So
Yeah,
That's
they
upside.
the worst part is they gave us a thing that we had to sign that basically said, hey, if shit goes down, you still have to show up for work. You're essential, but not essential enough to have hazard pay.
Of course not.
Oof.
That'd be too convenient.
Yeah, that would be, that thing we should have had since March, going on a year.
That sounds a lot like everybody's equal, but some people are more equal than others.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
I'm
me
the
though.
equalest of all.
I'm the most equal. The equalest.
The Equalist? What?
We're
I
gonna
need to
their-
work.
We're
I
gonna
need
take
to.
their bending away. That's
I need to work on. I need to work on that game a bit more because I had because I haven't worked on any of my games for a hot minute. For reasons. Mostly it was the holidays, and I just like brain empty. But yeah, like one of the last things I thought of was like being like, you know what? Characters in this game aren't driven by their vices. They're driven by their connections to people. And so changing out vice for connection and having an anchor rather than having a vice. Though your anchor could be a vice of some sort if you really want it to be. But yeah, that was the thing I thought of. Just like, yeah, this is the thing to change in the game. And also potentially, and this was the idea I came up with the shower yesterday, of all things. Changing, instead of indulging vice being based on your lowest resist, indulging vice is based on how many traumas you have.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So
Interesting change of pace.
yeah, so obviously the more traumas you have, the better you are at taking away stress, but also the more likely you'll be to overindulge.
Actually, that balances pretty well.
Right? I was like, this is a pretty good idea, I think. It was more the thing that I haven't seen anybody else come up with it, which is why I was like, I'm surprised nobody else has thought of this.
I guess we'll have to playtest it to actually see how well it plays, but it
Indeed.
sounds good.
Yeah, it feels like it. It's a thing of like if you have a crew where you can get an extra trauma, like how does that balance out? But no, I don't know. You're already getting 4 stress per time if you have 4 traumas and you don't indulge your vice. So like,
Yeah.
But I did some game design stuff. I released a custom playbook for Blades actually within the past month. It's called The Leftover. It's based on the writers and poets of the Lost Generation and of World War One. So that's over on my itch and my Patreon. And I worked on some other stuff. I did a play test of sorts of my Mothership module. Because there was a week where we didn't have Scum Villainy, but people were like, I'm still down to play. So we did like IGMs for 2 people doing Mothership.
How'd that go?
And it went pretty well considering the module I have is extremely bare bones. But like it was nice to just like have out like what does this space station look like and figure out the basics for the incursion, which is one of the events that can happen on the space station. Which is mostly just things breaking reality mostly. And then them sending a thermonuclear device at the black site and hoping that that'll do it.
Just nuke it for more.
Neither of them died, I should add. We had we had a scientist and a marine. Neither of whom died. Which was
Amazing.
Yeah.
Good job not dying.
Yeah. Our marine almost died, but he made his body save.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. He was only out for a few hours afterwards. It's an interesting of that game, like being very OSR, where like because of how the game is structured, there isn't a like, and I think this is the same thing with weirdly enough with Swyhander. There isn't a really like, there's no persuasion skill. There are no social skills in Mothership.
Mm-hmm.
You basically
I
just have
noticed
to like.
that, and it became a difficult part of the game for me.
Yeah, I had a bit of trouble with that because it's like you're on a space station, like. How do you
Virtual
convince
situations
people?
happen, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you have to leave it up to chance. And I think that's a big problem. And that's a thing that's weird with something like Pound of Flesh, where Pound of Flesh has a lot of things of like, you can go talk to this person or this person or this person. I guess Mothership being an OSR game expects one of 2 behaviors. Either you take people at face value or you don't trust them at all. And you just are like going for their shit, which I don't know.
Yeah, I guess
I don't know.
It's pretty clear that it's not really about that, but it
Yeah.
whole kind of like the situations the game puts you in kind of seem like that. Like Dead Planet was a pretty heavy social situation, I believe. Or no, not Dead Planet, the other one.
Pound of Flesh?
Yeah, Pound of Flesh.
Yeah, Pound of Flesh has a lot of like social stuff, and there's no actual like social backing in Mothership itself, which
No
because like
mechanization.
there's no mechanization. It's things like how do you get somebody to calm down in Mothership? The answer is there is no answer for that. Like, and that seems like a very essential thing for a space horror game of like, how do you get somebody to calm down?
You don't. They're just panicked forever until they die.
Yeah, I think like technically the answer is theology, because theology is a skill in that game, but like I don't know. It's a thing of I still like Mothership, but I'm seeing where the holes in it are and where it's filled in with
It's a very good OSR game.
Yes.
But
yeah, it is.
It's restricted to its category. Like, it doesn't stand out beyond an OSR game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I still like it better than the Alien RPG, but at least the Alien RPG has things like you have a skill to deceive people and a skill to convince people, because that's helpful. And if somebody's going to tell me OSR games, it's like, it's not about skills. It's like, well, then why did you put all these skills in the game for me to roll?
Why are there so many skills?
Yeah, like, why did you put heavy machinery in the game and, like, xenobiology and stuff like that? Like...
Listen, some of us are just really invested in xenobiology.
Look, I play Traveler. I can do that, but Traveler is a game all about skills. Same with first edition Stars Without Number, which I like Revised better, but I think most people do.
Yeah, Revised is a much better game in my opinion. Like, it's so much better thought out. And
yeah.
Put forward, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Kevin Crawford it's interesting seeing the evolution of his games from first edition Stars Without Number to like now, where he's working on like Worlds Without Number and stuff like that. And he does a really good job with this stuff, and also the fact that like a lot of his stuff are just compatible with everything you can imagine. Like, you're just like, hey, I'm gonna steal these tables for my other stuff.
Yeah, about those tables, they mine now.
They're mine. But yeah, I've been just like playing video games for the most part. Like, I finished a visual novel last week.
It was so good.
Yeah, it was really good. Unfortunately, I believe the ending credit song is muted on the VOD because it's copyrighted.
Oh no.
Which is a shame, because it's a really good song. But at least the visuals are really good in the ending credits for us. For people who are wondering, I was playing A Summer's End, Hong Kong 1986, which is a lesbian visual novel.
Ooh.
It's very good. I highly recommend it. It's by Oracle and Bone. That's who makes it. You can find it on Steam or itch.io. But yeah, it's beautiful aesthetics, wonderful soundtrack, and a really well-written story, which is something you always want in a visual novel, is well-written stories, because that's a visual. If you don't have a well-written novel, if you don't have a well-written story, it's going to be a bad visual novel. Yeah, and I've been playing Dishonored, and I played Control last month as well.
That was some good stuff.
Yeah. Dishonored has gotten me very much into thinking about Blades. For obvious reasons, and me being like, oh hey, that's in Blades, but it's named differently. Coldridge Prison, which it ends up in Blades as Coleridge, which is one of the districts in Duskwall. Yeah.
I miss Blades.
I have never played an actual campaign of Blades, but
I love Scum and Villainy, and I'm so glad that we're back to playing again, or will be very shortly.
Once we get that segue in.
But I do miss me some classic Blades.
I need to play an actual Blades campaign at some point.
I'm not super like into the grimdark Victorian era stuff so much. I mean, I have nothing against it. Like, it just never really struck me as like an interesting subject matter. So,
I like it.
I don't hate Blades. I've played it a couple times. I love it. I love the system and what it's kind of done for tabletop RPGs over the past like 10 years. But or 5 years. Man, I don't know how long it's been since Blade came out.
Like 5 years.
4 or 5 years.
Yeah. No, I can see that. For all aesthetic things, to each their own.
Mhm.
I appreciate it. Like, I appreciate it. Like, I didn't start playing Dishonored until recently, but like, I'm also a person who really likes Peaky Blinders, which is very much how I see like Blades. It's like Peaky Blinders, but it also has ghosts, that kind of thing. So, yeah, you're a Dark Victorian. Yeah, it can be very good, but I think it's not for necessarily everybody. But that's why there are a bunch of Fortune Dark games out there. Like, I'm looking forward at some point to playing Sea of Dead Men because I want to play a pirate game. And like, gosh, what else? I got some other games in the back room. Like, I want to play that. And obviously, I have my own game that I want to finish at some point, and that will be finished this year. I think that'll be finished this year. It's called learning layout is going to be the important part of it.
Yeah,
I believe in you.
I've been like slowly learning how to use tools that I probably should have learned years ago. And it's you know, a project like anything. You gotta do what you gotta do with it.
You know what else you got to do? What they got to do?
Our crew.
It's your crew. That's right.
Crew.
Well, part of your crew.
That part we haven't seen in forever.
Exactly. Some of our crew had gone off on their own to have a little side adventure. So we're gonna take a peek at what happened while they were gone. At some point, Link, you felt compelled to walk into a specific bar. And who should be there but Krieg and Crow? They were just so happened to be there, and you were like, huh, maybe I saw them from outside and I just thought I'd go in. That is until when you go join them at the table, you notice there is a familiar face also there in the crowded bar, returning to the table with 4 drinks, enough for you. And she sits down. She is a somewhat tall Xeno. Looks like she's made entirely out of plant material. Her hair is a cascade of flowers. Her dress is various sizes of leaves, accented with other flowers. Her limbs are made up of twisted vines, and her face is like a bark mask that is
Sounds very pretty.
actually like articulated, more like a normal face. It's Juliet, who you bought her pies back on Mem. And she smiles and hands you one of the beers, and then hands one to Crow and one to Krieg, and takes one for herself, and sits down. She's like, well, thank you very much for joining me here. You see, I've got a little bit of a problem. Now, my dear sweet brother Romeo has done got himself captured, and normally myself and my crew would definitely be the ones to step in, but there's some complications, you see. I am a very prominent member of independent parliament, and currently I'm not really supposed to be outside of Mem. And like, she glances around, and this is clearly not Mem. But as you can see, I'm never been quite one to follow the letter of the law. That's neither here nor there. Point is, I can't get to where he's at. And I know that you can. Now, I of course am gonna offer you a pretty penny to help out with this. There's a research facility on Amarath that needs a little breaking into. And if you can see your way over there and see my dear Romeo to safety, then you'll see 6 credits find its way to your accounts. Now, if that research facility was to find its way to ashes in the meantime, well, I could certainly improve that deposit.
Well, this all sounds good and all, and I'm all for saving your dear Romeo. But I gotta ask, do you have anything else on this research facility? Obviously, on Amarath, but like, where is it? What's it like? What's the security we might be running into? You know, things we gotta overcome in order to save your dear Romeo.
Of course. Like I said, if I was not otherwise engaged, I'd be doing this myself. So, here, take a peek at this research I've already managed to gather so far. And so there's an address, there's like some pictures of the facility from the outside, and there's like the like name and a contact number for the like private security firm that they hire for their security. And there's like it's not really a schedule so much as just like the open hours, like when there's people there and when there's not, generally. And she's like, I'm afraid this was all I was able to collect before I had to relocate. But I can assure you that the specifics are not going to be a problem at all. Unfortunately, and she pauses for a moment, and she's like, the building recently changed hands.
Oh?
And she sighs, and she's like, you know them corporations at the high levels? Well, they've done some paper shuffling, and it seems technically that this facility is now owned by the Guild of Engineers, but as far as I can tell, that's a mere technicality, and they certainly have not had an opportunity to update the security features to the Guild standards.
Would you
Right,
be able
that-
to get us in, Link?
Yeah, I think so, especially if they haven't been up to standards. Could have told us this was engineers to begin with.
That would have made it much easier for us.
Yeah, but now we know, I suppose. But yeah, look, we're gonna do this. I mean...
Well, of course. Y'all are just the sweetest.
Look, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna show those engineers what the hell's up. So, is there anything else, or is it just saving sweet Romeo and, you know?
Yeah, she's like, well, since you ask, I need some help on my own personal project, and, well, since Romeo isn't here to help me, I'll just, and she kind of eeny, meeny, miny, and then points at Crow. I'll just borrow this one in the meantime.
Borrow?
And Crow is like, no, it's fine. I like her. It's good.
Crow probably also smashed right now.
I mean, this was not his first beer.
Yeah.
For sure.
Good. Excellent. Like, I mean, if you're okay with that, Crow.
Smashed, it would be concerning. So.
Yeah,
That's
if he
true.
wasn't drunk, I'd be worried.
Yep.
Yeah, so Link looks up at Krieg, just like, well, you ready for another go? Without a friend?
Or my ship. This
Yeah.
should be interesting. By the way,
both out
we
of it.
need a ship.
Yeah, so
Oh, and she's like she stood up at this point and is like dragging Crow away, and she just kind of like waves over her shoulder. She's like, "Check the files, darling. You'll see there's a flight to Amaranth already booked for y'all."
Oh,
right. Oh, okay. Just like both of us look at it, just like, okay.
right. Professionals read the dossier. Okay.
I mean, look. She's already gone by this point.
She's gone.
I mean, she's giving us a ride, but like, it's not our own ship. We're both out of element here.
That's,
You know.
Yeah, that's true. Also, should we be worried about Crow?
Yes, but
Okay. Listen, you have to explain to Maneki if her property gets damaged.
look. You gotta remember, she thinks she owns that ship, and nobody owns that ship. I know, I've looked into the records for it before.
I meant Crow, but yes.
Oh, I'm aware.
Okay.
I'm aware of what you meant. Just, look, if we ever see that cat again, rest assured, we will have an explanation.
Okay, good, because he just finishes his beer.
And then he returns next season
Good,
with an
cause
eye patch, a
doesn't
captain's
finish.
coat, and an entire fleet. Where's my fucking crew?
Somehow found a planet of cat people.
Yeah.
So obviously, the two of you are not going to manage this by yourselves.
No.
So you're going to call in a couple of friends.
Son
So
of a bitch, I'm in.
I was gonna say, is it the Rick and Morty heist episode montage?
I mean,
of
it's
rounding
not
up
really
people?
the Rick and Morty heist montage. It's literally the design of all heist plots ever.
Yeah.
No,
It's
but
like one of those
I want
things,
each
like,
of them to go,
the
son of a
two-
bitch, I'm in.
the two of you, just before you leave the table, are like, "We're not going to be able to do this alone." And then one of you is like, "I know just the person," and the other one's like, "So do I." And
Yeah.
like high five, and then we like cut to four people walking in a line as you guys are approaching whatever we're going to approach, and we'll see the other two members. And we can, if you want to see these son of a bitch I'm in, we can do that, or we can flash back to how you know these people.
We're
later.
one last jobbing the shit out of this. Is what
You're
we're doing.
one last jobbing the shit out of this.
Let's
Exactly.
get the shit out of it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I guess while the four of us walk in a line blocking everybody else from being able to go past us, because that's how that happens.
Yeah.
I don't know where we're walking to. It's just a cool space station hallway or whatever. I guess I'll describe Link since it's been a hot minute since we've seen her
Yeah,
on
let's
screen.
see. What does she look like these days?
I mean, she looks pretty similar to how she usually looks. For those who might not remember what Link looks like, she is a Xeno. She is a species called the Elomian, which are just like very short humanoids. Like she's 1.2 meters tall, which for people who don't know the metric system is like about 4 foot, like a little under 4 foot. She's got like like pale blue skin, pupilless indigo blue skin, pearlescent hair, pupilless eyes. And I think she's still got like she's still got like her hair tied back, but it's shorter than it was the last time we saw her. She got a haircut in between.
Mhm.
And still has the like very much the like tall boots, military pants, t-shirt type thing. Like looks slightly less greasy than the last time we saw her as well.
Like greasy as in dirty, or greasy as in like
Greasy as in
being a
mechanic.
gearhead?
Yeah,
Greasy
yeah.
as in mechanic, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's she hasn't had any like big wear and tear things because since the last time we saw her, she was working on like another ship and doing small jobs in between to just get to places. Because she was like, it was basically after that one job we did on the trade platform, she was like, you know, this job isn't for me. I am not cut out to be a bounty hunter. So
And they pulled you back in.
yeah, she's kind of just walking along, and she's kind of like deconstructing something as they're walking along in her hands.
Yep.
Nice.
Krieg is former military, incredibly tall, a little on the lanky side, has just messy mane of dark hair, curly dark hair that cascades probably well past his shoulders, big thick beard, and has the like perpetual chill face, and probably has just like thermos of coffee that I have established he's always drinking because I'm always drinking coffee on this. And he probably still has his old flight jacket, being former military, and probably looks a little grungier since him and Crow went on their buddy cop adventure and then somehow linked up with Link. And it's like, it was probably like, ugh, you need a shower. And he's like, yeah, probably. That's what happens when you meet
Krieg
months. Go ahead.
Krieg has no idea why Crow insisted on that bar. Like, it wasn't really his normal style of bar. And then when Link walked in, it was like, what? And this plant lady? I don't think you actually met her before. So, yeah, that might have been a mystery. But very obviously, Link and Crow were familiar with her and trusted her very much.
That's
Always
Not-
ask her about it, and then she'll be like,
Suspiciously at all.
yeah, not fishy at all.
just way bullshit. That's what it is in the
She's
end.
not fishy, she's a plant.
It's even though you met her on Mem, it's fine.
There are aquatic plants, okay? Jeez.
It's true.
That's
There
true,
are.
that is true.
Look, she wasn't standing in salt water when we met her, so.
Is that like a bad omen or something? Like
Oh no, I was just. No, it was just. She's an aquatic plant. I mean, maybe she needs to stand in salt water, you know. Who are... Go ahead. I was like, who are other people?
That's what I was gonna say. Shae, speaking of former military, tell us about Candace.
Former military, Candace is used to be a combat medic who is, kinda now doing her own thing. Probably, works in her own clinic, and then once she gets the call, from Krieg, she is definitely like son of a bitch on that.
Nice.
But yeah, she's red hair, has her old medic jacket in a case that she carries around with her.
Mm-hmm.
Human, a little on the short side.
Awesome. Do you know either Link or Sitrep or any of the other members of the Rocksteady who may not be currently present?
Might have heard about them, but probably never met them.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
You may have. You may have.
Krieg's doing bounty hunter work now. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think the only other people you might know of on this crew being former military are what? Crow, because Crow's also
Crow,
former
yeah.
military, and then
Mhm.
Dr. Sang.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dr. Sang.
So she probably would have been she probably would have served with Crow and Krieg. Did Dr. Singh was he in the 51st as well?
They were in the 51st. They were a surgeon in the 51st.
Then they
Didn't-
probably know them.
Didn't we say that like they were all in the 51st, but Sang was in a separate thing? But it was kind of just like 51st. I recognize that look, and you're
Yeah.
like, yeah.
She probably
Yeah,
knows
'cause-
them from school, from like the training or something before they
Yeah,
they
'cause-
got their own thing.
Sang was an officer and also was a doctor, and then also deserted. So a little bit different spheres, but still all in the 51st. So no.
He taught that class on how to amputate a leg and then reattach it 48 hours later.
Yeah, that's the wonders of technology, eh?
it's a very specific circumstance that I don't want to know why the they needed to know how to do that.
All doctors need to know how to amputate and reattach legs.
It's part of standard hegemonic medical procedure.
Okay.
Battlefield
Yeah, that's-
battlefield medical procedure.
And I mean, if
Valid
we're
medical
treating
procedures 101.
if we're treating the hegemony as evil empire too, you know, you amputate the prisoners' legs so they can't escape, and then reattach them when you get them to their detainment camp. Easy.
There you go.
There you go. War crimes.
Some yes,
Cool.
particularly
Got it.
sadistic
Alright.
prison wardens right there.
Speaking of war crimes,
Speaking of war crimes, let me introduce our next guest.
no, that was a terrible segue, and I don't actually mean war crimes. But I do want to know more about Sitrep. Please tell us about him.
So Sitrep, I know literally 0 things about Sitrep. So,
No, you know one thing about Sitrep.
No sit rep.
oh yeah, Sitrep used to be in love with the good old Krieg. I don't know whether it was a torrid affair of lust or whether it was a very romantic, stolen away.
Oh, you know.
Summer-
The
time or
answer is
something,
always
but-
yes.
Yes,
Obviously, they're on opposite sides of the battlefield, but love
I would
moves the
like to say
battlefield,
that
so.
it is now complicated with Krieg, not like. So I'm the one who like gives you a hard time about coming to them for the mission.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess they're like 5'8", but like stocky, kind of built like a buffalo, like really broad shouldered and has meat. But otherwise unassuming, and they need to be for their role, which is espionage and counterintelligence. They're kind of just like an ear to the ground in situations for I haven't decided what faction.
I'm just imagining they're like a rugby player.
Oh,
Probably.
that'd be great.
They're like a street urchin, but they get paid for it. So
They're an informant, yeah.
yeah, exactly. They're an informant.
You know who I immediately pictured because you said like stocky and stuff. I imagined the guy who played Bullet Tooth Tommy from Snatch, just that kind of like stocky,
Oh
beefy
god.
looking guy.
I never watched Snatch.
Oh, good
Snatch.
movie.
I know. I mean, I've been told that I'm supposed to, but
I watched it. When did it come out?
Oh.
Question mark, question mark, question mark, a
2000.
million years
I think
ago?
like 2005 or 6.
Yeah, I want
No,
to say 2005.
No, yeah, I want to say 2000.
2000. Oh, damn.
I am on IMDb to find out who Bullet
20
Tooth
years
is.
ago.
20
I
years
know who
ago.
I
directed
watched
it.
that
It's Guy
movie.
Ritchie.
Vinny Jones is his name.
Vinny Jones, yeah. Vinny Jones
That name
used to
sounds
be...
really, really familiar.
Oh, he's in a
Vinny
lot
Jones
of stuff.
was... Vinny Jones was on Gallivant, of
No,
all
he
places.
played Juggernaut in the X-Men movie. He was also the soccer hooligan from Eurotrip.
Yep.
The lead soccer hooligan.
He used to be a soccer player before he got into acting.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
He was on
He was
oh
also on
gosh, I
Arrow.
forget which Premier League team, but yeah.
Just a shot in the dark. Was it Manchester United because that was the hooligan team they were part of? In
Maybe
Eurotrip?
it might have been Man U. I don't remember, unfortunately, because it's not like I've looked at Vinny Jones's Wikipedia page. I haven't. I just know he used to be a soccer player.
Oh no, sounds suspicious, Sane. I think
I mean,
been
I'm gonna
scrolling through Vinny Jones's.
I'm gonna go look now.
Look,
because we're talking about it.
I pulled it up just to find his name, so it's fine.
He was on Wimbledon, Leeds United, Sheffield United, Chelsea, and Queen's Park Rangers. He also apparently was on the Welsh national team. Huh.
So yeah, I'm a intramural city, or like I don't know, maybe I'm on like the police and firefighter union competition, like softball league or some shit like that. But yes, that sounds like a thing.
Chess club.
Also, not to segue back to Vinny, but holy shit, he looks really handsome with longer hair. Like, not the usual short shaved down look. I'll just link
When
this
you-
to you guys.
When he looks less like a typecast.
Yeah, exactly. When he doesn't look like he's typecast as a Cockney pit bull. I'm for it. But yeah, look at that with his hair growing out a little bit. That's sharp, especially with that suit.
You wanna show it to chat?
I mean, I can, yeah. They're probably thirsty too.
We're in a pandemic. Everybody's thirsty.
Everybody's thirsty.
All right.
There
so,
it
we,
is.
We see our informant. We see our informant here.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean there is an actual union in this game. It's the Cobalt Syndicate.
Hell yeah.
That's true.
Cool. So I guess I'm part of the Kobold Syndicate?
Or associated with them, or friends with them. Yeah, that's cool.
In affiliation with, but not in representation of.
All right. And so that's Sitrep.
That's me.
All right, awesome. So, how do you want to do this, you guys? What else do you need to know about this building before you decide how you want to go into it? Because you've had some time, you've got some information, you've done some research, you had a dossier. What did you need to know? What kind of plan are you looking at here?
It's a good question. The answer, because the thing we're doing here, we're doing an extraction mission.
Yes. You do know the name of the doctor who is in charge of... you know that they're running experiments on Romeo. You know the name of the doctor who is in charge of this is Dr. Fuller Atherton. Dr. Atherton, you find out through your research, used to be one of the leaders of the Yaru, the Makers Club, Makers Guild. But since
that's a brand of scotch.
The Makers Club. Yeah.
But since the clone uprising, the Yaru have really been on the outs, and he jumped ship and was acquired by the Guild of Engineers as a researcher. He's, from what you can tell, a little bit peeved to be going from like head of a guild to an researcher in the Guild of Engineers. But if he can prove his theories about Romeo and their species of Xeno, then he might be able to claw his way back up to the top of an even bigger organization. So this is kind of from what you've gathered, this is kind of like a risk-reward scenario where he's trying where the a man responsible for creating and subjugating a race of clones is vivisecting a plant Xeno to try to develop better biotechnological connectivities.
Fun. I had a consideration, which this is just a very dumb idea, because my previous employer, Yala, is part of the Guild of Engineers.
That's true.
And that could be a potential social connection, but also I hate Yala with a burning passion.
She's your down tick. So
she is my down tick.
Are you gonna suck that up and reach out?
I think I'm gonna get to ask everybody else first before we try doing that, because that just sounds like a whole lot of bad things could happen with it. Yeah, that's a potential social connection that we could have if we want to do like a social plan of like, hey, Yala can get us in, and then we can go and fetch Romeo.
The likelihood that she is working at this particular facility is pretty high. The chances that she's now she may be overseeing Dr. Atherton as like a babysitter, and maybe she's chafing at that a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can convince her that Dr. Atherton is competition. But yeah, do y'all have any?
Doctor
Do y'all
should-
have ideas? Things that you need to know?
Doctors shouldn't be doing this bioengineer crap. They should stick to amputating legs and reattaching them.
That sounds like
problematic.
I for one think cybernetics are pretty cool, but like I also just don't do medical things. So, regardless, I would like to remove anything to do with this research. That would be good. Also, to stick it to the engineers, cause fuck them.
Yeah.
So.
Bonus, you get paid more for burning the place down.
Oh, shit.
True.
And that's why I'm here.
I was gonna say, Crow's gonna be really sad when he hears
just
about
clicks.
that.
I'm like, oh, so that's why you called me Krieg.
Yeah, no, burn it all.
Krieg, is he an arsonist? Did you get us a? What?
Not particularly an arsonist. They prefer saboteur.
Sapper. Sapper is a good term.
Sure. Do you like to burn things or blow things up? I guess is the
Yes.
question.
I like to take things out of commission.
That is a
However you need it done, I can do it. I guess. If that
That's
makes sense.
really good way of putting it.
So
Huh.
you're
I'll have to.
So you're multifaceted in terms of destruction, property.
Not so much destruction as disabling, if that makes sense. I can can get away with like doing really sneaky things where like something just goes down for a half an hour, or I could completely wipe it off of the face of the universe. Because sometimes that's the situation at hand. That's what pays the bills. Am I right?
Krieg,
I kind of
like
like do like a little shoulder push to what's Shae's character's name?
it. Link. Or
No, Shae's character.
Shae's character. I heard Saints and I was confused. Shae's character. Sorry.
And he does what to my character?
I push you on the shoulder playfully, like
She
kind of. I'm being goofy and friendly, I guess, but
she
You can
probably
get out.
punches back and says, "I want to know. I get paid to put people back together."
so we're here on
Sometimes
opposite
to take
ends of
them
the
apart.
spectrum, aren't we? Huh?
Yeah, I mean sometimes to take them apart, but usually to put them back together.
Yeah, that's usually, sometimes people fall apart and you got to put them back together. Somebody's got to do it. It's not me.
Right.
I'm doing
Not
that.
often that I do. Well, I guess sometimes I do both. Sometimes I do both.
Neither of you happen to have access to, say, an ambulance or something?
Do I have access to an ambulance?
You could probably get access to an ambulance pretty easily.
What planet are we on?
Amarath.
I don't know.
Amarath.
I could
Can
probably-
I legitimately
You
be
have
on
a
like,
uptick with Lainey, a hospital
I
admin.
do.
I feel like that would definitely be a path that you could get access to the use of a ambulance.
I was sort of thinking of that the hospital heist in Firefly.
Hmm. Yeah,
I could
Oh, this
definitely
is
get
a
hold-
research lab, so
it is a research lab though. Not quite the same.
go ahead, Shae. Sorry.
I definitely can get a hold of one.
Oh, good. Perfect. That
Give
might
us a
work.
helpful edge.
Yeah, I was thinking, my thought, because my other thought, of course, is talking to somebody I hate, which is not something I want to really do. But here's what I was thinking: we get an ambulance, we get Krieg, you fly it. The rest
wait,
of
hold
us,
on. You got motive? That's like the number one rule to doing a job. You don't do a job if you have motive to do it. That could just I could just say that and it bounces off of the wall and nobody responds to it. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, that was like it was just like, sure, yeah, but okay. Rest of us are ambulance team. There's an emergency in the facility. We get in there. We get Romeo out. blow the place or whatever we're gonna do to it, and Krieg's escape.
So who's this Romeo person anyway? Why are they so important?
Client's family.
Yeah.
Hmm,
We have
okay.
pictures of them because we have the dossier and stuff. Yeah, this is Romeo. Romeo was kidnapped, and they're getting them back. So, but also blowing a place up because
Yep.
Yeah.
Also that.
you know,
Because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that. So if there's none of that,
Yeah,
let me know
it's-
now so I can leave.
This is
that's
quite
gonna
literally
be-
a smash and grab.
yeah, exactly. So maybe we get that ambulance, get some medical gob, that kind of thing, disguises, and get over there. I'm saying we do a deception plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think I have anything in your size, but I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, just figure out what you can do. I can also just be the frickin' ambulance mechanic because those are things, I think.
Do that
Sure,
thing.
yeah.
Alright, I'll put the call in.
Cool.
I'm a call weenie.
All right. I'm hearing a deception plan.
Yes.
Sweet. So your point of deception is that you guys are an ambulance crew?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And oh, jeez, I'm so sorry. Pardon my yawn. All right.
Okay, it sounded refreshing.
What's everybody's loadout? And let's figure out your engagement roll.
I'ma do normal.
Normal.
I'm a do heavy. For reasons.
Okay.
I'm gonna do normal, even though I plan to. I guess I'm just the getaway driver, but I'll do normal just in
You don't
case.
have to just be the getaway
Yeah,
driver.
no, it's very much just a, just in case. I need to show up with heavy weapons or something. I got space.
So, what kind of item is a fine bedside manner?
It's a zero cost item, and it's something that you can have with you or leave behind anytime you like.
Okay. What
any
is
of
it?
the italicized are 0 cost.
It's not necessarily a physical item in this
okay.
case. Yes.
Gotcha.
I
like that I can
Now-
have candies and treats.
Yes, very important. Now, is this operation particularly bold or daring?
Considering they want us to blow the place up, I would probably say bold.
Pretty bold to me.
Yeah, that's pretty bold.
Yeah,
pretty
pretty bold.
Does the detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest?
We're pretending to be emergency personnel.
I don't think that they are particularly vulnerable to that. I think they're as equally vulnerable as anywhere else that might need emergency personnel.
Like a shadow vault.
Is the target strongest against this approach, or do they have particular defenses or special preparations?
They hate ambulances in particular.
I think they have on-site medical personnel, so an ambulance showing up may be a little sus. Of course, you can always spin it as oh, the on-site personnel called, or fake something, but
We did. Julia did give us stuff about the security company and stuff like that, so we could probably fake it as we are the off-site personnel.
okay, yeah. That makes sense. Okay, can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation?
I already called them.
Yeah, you got it. Are there any enemies or rivals interfering in this operation? I'm so sorry, but there is one particular member of the guild that has a history with Link that is going to be on site.
Oh.
So there's a -1 there. Any other elements you want to consider? I don't. I think this. While normally the guild would be a much higher tier target, they are much closer to you in level at this particular facility, at least at this given moment. So we are looking at 2 dice.
Who wants to roll it?
I always screw it up. Let's not do me.
You don't want sit rep, aka Dougie Jr. to
Dougie
roll
Fresh.
this die. You don't want that.
Dougie
to happen.
Jr.
I think
All right,
this was-
I'll roll it.
I think this was
Okay.
originally Link's.
This was. I was gonna
suggestion.
do it, but our GM's doing it.
I mean, you can definitely do it.
All right, I'll
And,
do it.
and hold on, you can't be Dougie Jr. You have to be Doug, son of Doug.
Doug, son of Doug.
Doug
Um,
Doug
I mean,
Dougson.
maybe, but also what Dougie Jr.
Hey. See, this
Oh,
is why this is
nice.
why you roll it.
Yeah, a 6. So how does oh geez,
Shake it
so
off.
sorry. How do you see a perfectly flawless entrance going with this deception plan? And I'll interrupt you when we get to the first obstacle, because everything has gone exactly according to plan up until, of course, you meet the first
Obstacle.
Yeah.
Land at the landing pad. Get out. Like get our gear. Just look like a medical crew, and then head on in and head towards the lab where Romeo is being kept.
Okay. Yeah, so I think it works flawlessly. Like you come in blazing, you guys all coordinated, look like a medical crew. You're all wearing the correct emblems of their private security firm that they have hired. So the guys at the the top entrance, because this is the space future, this is a large landing pad on top of this building, and there's like multiple places for flying vehicles to land, and there's like what do you call it, like a receptionist at the top floor as well as the bottom floor. But they just like wave you through because clearly you belong here and know where you're going. But that is not going to last. The first obstacle you get to is when you get in the elevator. It needs a key card to get to the floor that Romeo's on.
I knew I should have beaten that guy. We passed in the hallway.
Do you want to do a flashback to having snatched their key?
I'm not great
Can I
at
just like
vaults, so
kind of
no.
like pump fake a nerd until they dropped it and run away?
No.
Okay, fine.
They would definitely like call security or run away without dropping it.
Link like pushes up a part of the like hover gurney that we have and takes out her fine hacking rigs. Just like, give me a second. Yeah, I'm gonna hack this shit. Gonna hack it.
Yeah, that sounds like something you can definitely do. I mean, this is you guys rolled a 6 on your engagement, so this is definitely controlled. Seems like it's very easy for you guys to block what you're doing from the cameras. You just casually like lean. Someone just casually leans across it while you work below, and you're short anyway, so it was fine. And so yeah, this is controlled. I think it's standard.
Okay. Is that standard with the fine or?
Yes, it is, because that's before Yaru was wrecked. They were still a tier. Basically, you're working on degrading tier 2 Does that make sense? I think.
Yeah,
think that
I got you. Gambits. How many do we actually have? Did they
3.
reset? Or we have 3. I'm gonna use one of them, and I'm also gonna push myself for great. Which
Okay.
I will ask you what great looks like, but I have an idea of what great might look like here.
What do you think great might look like?
I have a copy of a key card from this hacking.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I can definitely see you having a blank key card that you can impress if you succeed. Although probably the first thing that you'll lose is great effect.
That's
but...
fine. That's fine. We'll see how it goes. Oh, not good.
Well, you don't succeed.
No.
No.
But good news is this was controlled. So you don't just fail out a hand. You hesitate. You're blocked or you falter. Yes, sorry. For controlled 1 to 3.
I think...
Okay, so
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think you're blocked. I think that like you slip in your key card that you're gonna like program, and like it goes bzz, bzz, rejected, and you realize that this elevator at least is using a different like key card technology than you were expecting according to the dossier. You could still do this, but it's not what you were expected, so it's more risky.
I think like puts the fine hacking rig away, like turns back to her and is like, this is not what I was expecting. You're gonna have to give me a few more seconds, a minute maybe. And she takes out some other tools, and she's gonna like basically take apart part of it and just like rewire the whole thing.
Okay.
Is anyone good at lifting items from someone while they're distracted?
I'm good at being a distraction.
Did Link want help?
If you could, then sure. She's gonna. I think I'm gonna. She's gonna try rigging it instead of hacking it. Like,
I do have a point in rig, so I can justify helping you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's like if you come by like to help her, she'll take it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mark.
I guess I'm sorry. I guess I should ask this question. Would my stress and stuff be down since I haven't played him in a while?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. You can
Actually,
go ahead.
You trauma'd out last session, so the last time you played this character. So
yeah, which is why I was like, I don't remember because it's been well over 2 months since I've played Krieg.
You should all have.
Out, that's
you
right.
should definitely have no stress and no injuries at this point.
Yeah.
Since
All
it's
right.
been so long since we've
Cool.
seen you on camera.
Yep. So I'll mark the stress to help.
Awesome. I'm gonna mark find ship repair tools for this.
Okay. So yeah. I think we're looking at risky standard then with your find ship repair tools.
Cool. Sounds good.
You got your help.
I do have my help. Risky standard 1 bonus die. Here we go. That's a 6. Help did it. And we got a gambit.
Yeah, you get a gambit. Nice. So let me put that gambit back. Awesome. So yeah, this goes like you I'm just picturing you just going into to do it. It's not what you expected it to be. You're like, I don't know about this. And then you just pull out some tools, you snip some wires, you twist them back together.
Yep.
Like Krieg holds something for you in the meantime, and whip bam boom, you're done.
Nice.
The main consequence of this is that now anyone can use this elevator without a key card.
That's fine.
It doesn't look like that per se, like, and it will still beep if you pass your key card, but you don't actually need it.
which is only good for us because everybody else in this facility, for the most part, has a key card of some sort.
I would
yeah.
imagine at
It's
least.
alright, we'll blow it up anyway.
I mean,
exactly.
you will exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, all right, well, good. Let's get going. We should have a pretty clear way to get out of here because this thing doesn't need a keycard anymore.
Cool. Yeah. So, the four of you continue, and you get off at the level that is that you believe Romeo should be on. And as the doors open, you notice there's like a slight shimmer in the air.
Oh, that's weird.
You don't see that
Huh.
every day.
No.
Can I make a study roll to try and figure out what that is? Maybe I've seen something
Yeah.
like it before.
Sure, definitely, absolutely.
Yeah. Position effect?
Let's say it's risky standard. The biggest risk being you guys just standing there dumbly for long enough that somebody comes by and gets suspicious.
Everybody's just like, it's beautiful. You're not supposed to be in here.
Alright. I don't think I get a thingy for this. My stuff is all. Oh, okay.
Not unless you have some item that you might think would help you here.
Mm-hmm.
I might be able to help you out. I think Link pops up Volus 2 because she's rebuilt her drone.
Of course.
Electric
and and Volus 2 will scan the whatever this mist is, and it'll pop up some information for you.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'll spend a stress to help you out.
So, one bonus die?
Yep.
Yeah. 4.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean that's a success. All right. So, what you realize as you get these readings from Volus is it's not. Where'd my pen go? Sorry, I'm gonna need a pen. There we go. You realize it's not something that's in the air. It's like a thin barrier. And you've seen this before, Candace, that it's been you've seen it used as like a containment for way powers or way creatures. Like at one point your 51st Legion crew had captured a way creature, and you used a similar type bubbling structure to contain it. But you know that you should be able to pass through this without any problem.
Yeah.
But way powers should not be able to pass through it.
Okay. So it's like a bubble that suppresses wave powers, or like wave power, like you can't like use a power and it goes through in or out. It's just like a wall for wave.
It's like the wall
Okay.
for way power. Also, this is way like on a way larger scale than you've ever seen before. For what that's worth. And I'm gonna go ahead and start a clock for you guys for the security guards showing up. Actual security guards showing up. I'm gonna put a couple of ticks on that because time is going, and you guys are a little suspicious.
So I just kind of like look over on B2's screen, and I'm like, oh, I've never seen a way wall like this large before.
Come again?
I call it a way wall.
What does that mean?
It's like a wall, like for just way powers.
Wait,
Oh.
are you saying this is the way?
This is the way.
Krieg, I missed you.
It's not the right thing. I was trying to copy paste.
Let's just... Obviously, something here. Maybe Romeo? Maybe. But regardless,
It's
let's...
a containment field. But we're
Oh, well, that makes more sense.
Right. Yeah. Alright.
I shall proceed.
Yeah, let's find Romeo.
Wherefore art thou, Romeo?
All right. Not random. No.
Oh, jeez. 3 ticks.
2 ticks.
Oh no.
Oh.
Okay. You can resist that if you like, but also you don't have to.
I've got no stress. I'll try. What resist is it?
I would say it's a insight resist, because this is basically you grokking this faster, so that less ticks go on this clock.
Sure.
It'll drop it down to 1 tick instead of 2.
Sure, I'll do it. 4. Alright, mark my stress.
Only 2 stress. Nice.
Not bad. Okay. So yeah, you can see up ahead there are, in this, like, the elevator opens into a hall. There's that way wall bubble, and then there's a number of like offices or laboratories on either side of the wall. Some of them have like glass windows looking in, and a couple of them have researchers walking around, like looking at clipboards, like tapping at computers. There's maybe, I don't know, half a dozen people you can account for easily from this hallway. And they can probably see you guys. They don't seem to be looking for you or at you, but they could.
Yeah, I just stroll along confidently. Alright, we're looking for room 34C? Question mark?
Yeah.
That's what it is now.
You guys see like one of those little like "you are here" maps, and you realize that this room is pretty deep into the facility, and you guys are going to need to get there either swayingly, just swagger you guys' way there with your disguises, or sneakily, or some other way, without alerting this clock.
I think I have a way.
Oh, what is this
I have a
way? Please.
Like looking that it's really far and looking at the time, just like, we're a medical team. We should run.
Medical team, this is an emergency.
Yeah, let's do it. Nobody will question it, right?
So I look back at Link. I'm like, I'll race you.
Is there a gurney?
You're on.
Yeah, you
we
guys
have-
have.
Yeah.
Is there
I
a
mean-
gurney?
But it's like
inside?
and it's like a hover gurney, so you guys can like.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna grab that.
I'm grabbing another side, and we'll just the like 2-man gurney it.
Yeah.
All right.
And we're just like,
And I'm like,
You're
I'm
just
just
like,
strong
emergency,
arming
out
like
of the way.
the paramedic bag and like, yeah.
Yeah, I think Link's holding on to the side of the gurney because she's shorter than everybody else and probably just get left behind. So
Oh, Adorable. So yeah, I mean,
You want to be the patient?
Yeah, sure. I'll pretend to be the patient. There we go. Perfect.
that's one way to do it.
I was
So
thinking group scramble.
I can see a group scramble. Just get there as quickly as you can before anyone
wanna
has a
lead
chance to
because I'm in the front.
grok what's going on.
There we
Sure.
go. Perfect. What's the position
yeah.
effect for this?
It's gonna be risky standard. We're at a risky standard kind of place right now.
Are we all rolling?
All right.
Or just one person?
All of
Everybody
us.
rolls.
It's a group.
Group skulk, you said?
Scramble.
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 The other ass.
Hey, we got a 6!
You guys do it flawlessly. Let's
yeah,
see
sit rep.
how much stress sit rep has to take for it.
Sorry. Oh
One,
no!
I'm
Two.
not trained in this, so here we go.
3. Take 3 stress. Luckily, sit rep knows what's up, and he races out in front, and the rest of you all just drag behind, and like someone kind of stands dumbfounded in the hallway and starts to look a little suspicious, and sit rep just kind of like shoulder bull rushes past and like, out of the way, it's an emergency. And the guy stumbles back like, what? And he's too like confused to really think much of it. And you get there to room 36C, and again, there are the like glass windows into this laboratory, and you can see there is what looks more or less like a man, but similar to his sister, made entirely out of vegetation. He's a lot more wooden and less leafy than Juliet. And right now, he is in a terrible way. His arm vines. Normally, you've seen them in the past. The vines have all been twisted together to look vaguely like an arm, and then like split out at the end into sort of like fingers. Someone has unraveled that completely, and there are like a bunch of different vines just like pulled out and separated as far from each other as possible and like pinned up and around, just spread out from him in all different directions.
That is some brutally graphic vine person torture.
No, it's some brutally graphic vine person torture. Each one of them seems to have like electrodes attached to it in some way. And there is two other people, I should say, inside the room, of course, because this is how it works. Their backs are to you. And they seem to be working on one of them is working on a computer. The other one is standing over his shoulder, like frowning disapprovingly. And you recognize both of these people. One you recognize from your dossier is Dr. Atherton. He's the one standing at the computer. The other is a woman that Link in particular recognizes, who is her former employer, Yala, who's wearing like a business suit and seems to be observing some kind of demonstration, and like you can't hear what's going on in that room, but Dr. Atherton like hits a button with some kind of a flourish and like makes like a gesture like voila, and we see like, this is not how electricity works, but this is how it works in movies, where like lightning comes down those wires towards the vines, and then you know, like on one side, and then on the other side, where all of the wires are attached to, there's like a bunch of different like light bulbs and indicators and like stuff like that, and they all just start going crazy, like as like the electricity passes through his body. And also, he does not seem too happy about this either.
It doesn't seem like something to be too happy about.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. So yeah. What do you do?
How good is everyone's sway?
I got some pretty
No.
decent
I'm
sway.
actually pretty good at sway. I could.
Y'all can do it.
I could give it a shot.
I've only got 1 point in it.
I got a 2 blip.
All right.
I
I
think
got 2 blips.
I think Link is gonna probably stay behind because
you
she
hide.
doesn't yeah, she's gonna hide while y'all do this because she does not want to deal with Yala.
I was thinking that like we could go in and just be like, Doctor, you two, you're needed at this place. Don't question it, just go. What is another room that we might have noticed further away that might have like similar things that these people might be working on?
We heard that there was a medical emergency here.
Yeah, that was what I was gonna lead in with. Like Krieg is gonna be like full trauma team where it's like, there's a medical emergency. We need you all to evacuate right now. We'll get the patient out of here. Don't ask questions. Just go, go, go.
All right, let's do
And
it.
just like full energy, and I was gonna throw Leaf on the wind for it.
Maybe. What I was going to say is one thing that you notice about Dr. Atherton is that he's wearing like a bandages or something across his face, and no part of his skin is really showing, like. So it's not clear if this is like they're not like bloody bandages or anything. It's not clear if this is like maybe he got injured recently, or if this is this is just his weird sci-fi style.
He's a lizard person underneath.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've met lizard people, so
We have.
We have.
they did not bother wearing weird bandages.
Maybe he's ashamed of his lizard personness.
Don't be
That sounds about right.
a wizard person.
Great. So yeah, are you guys?
Yeah. I'll help by just like pushing the gurney inside, like, and it just like quickly like gesturing. Hurry, we need to move.
All right.
So
I'm
We're-
like saying
This is-
weird. Like,
Definitely desperate.
I'm
Yeah,
saying
no, that's good for me. I like it.
I'm saying weird EMT terminology completely out of context.
Yeah, we're throwing like completely bad space Grey's Anatomy, and like Grey is in the aliens Grey.
Right.
I'm
one of you
using
needs-
actual medical terminology, and I'm like correcting them.
No, don't correct us.
Okay,
Just-
I
don't correct us. Throw proper terminology on top of our
Alright,
bad
proper
terminology
terminology
to keep them
top.
on their toes,
Yeah.
or off their toes even. Just more chaos and panic.
One of you needs to spend stress to help out in this situation,
I did.
and you did. Okay.
Yeah, I'm spinning Leaf on the wind.
And your life on the winding, yeah. This is desperate, but I think with everything you're throwing at it, it's standard effect. Just because you're definitely surprising them, and you're definitely throwing up enough bullshit that.
Is everybody fine with a gambit being used as well?
Go for it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Nice.
So that'll be 3 extra. No whammies. Hey, there's a 6 in there.
That is not a whammy. So you're just telling. So where did you tell them they needed to go?
Oh gosh, did
All
we get
the way to the
somewhere not here?
It's on the other side of the facility.
Yeah, they're like
There's an evacuation room near the elevator or something like that.
Yeah.
They need to get to evacuation point Charlie Alpha, and they need to go now. It's far from here.
Yeah.
Not
and
here.
the fact
Leave.
that they don't know where Charlie Alpha is means they have to stop and ask. They just get lost.
We ain't got time for this.
What part of it's emergency did you not understand? Go.
Yeah. They start leaving the room, but they're not going to leave you in the room with their experiment as not happening.
Okay. I was gonna start moving them over to the gurney anyway.
They're not letting you get near him. They're leaving, but they're not like okay, we'll go get out. We'll be right behind you. They're willing to follow your instructions. They completely believe you, but they are not going to leave this room while you are in it and with Romeo there.
Okay. Do they What do I roll what do I roll to insight what they're planning to do? If anything, or they just want to like close the door and lock it behind them?
I mean, there's not really like an insight as what they're planning on doing, but I mean, you can easily surmise that they want to leave the room and lock behind them. Yes,
Hey, we can open doors, right?
that's true.
All right, that's fine. To keep them off their toes.
Okay. All right. So you all leave. They leave. They start running down the hall. You're like, we'll catch up or whatever. They have locked the door behind them.
I start to run down the hall and then stop and then just back up.
I would like to take this opportunity to set not depth charges, but try to find the essential support beams of this building and start planting plastique on it.
Okay.
Dead
Yeah, I think that having a general idea of where that was going to be before you went in would be, in the dossier. Actually knowing how to implement it and getting to those places are going to be different questions, though. So are you separating from the rest of the group so you can do this, or are you just setting them where you can
I kind of like give Krieg and Link like a nod. I'm like, I'm gonna go do my part now, and I'm like, and then I just kind of like nod and then disappear into like, probably not very smoothly, but I think I'm being smooth. Just kind of slink around a corner.
All right. Would we like to take a break here, and then we'll come back to see how you actually get Romeo out of this place?
Sounds good.
Ren?
Sorry.
Would we like to take a break on break time?
Oh yes, we are right on the minute. Perfect time.
I know.
Yeah,
I know,
good job,
right?
guys.
Holy moly.
Yeah, let's take our break. Everybody get up, stretch, enjoy yourselves. We will be muting mics as we step away, but you are free to chat in chat. And when you come back, just know that your mics are hot, even if mine isn't. See you all shortly.
See ya.
Bye.
sounds like everybody's back. As Outro gets up and leaves. Cat.
Also, cat.
Also
Cat.
Thank you, cat.
Cat.
Vocalize. Cat vocalization.
Meow.
Meow, meow, meow.
Maneki's not here to be cat, so we have actual cat.
Yes, exactly. Ow! Well, she didn't like how I was petting her, so she bit me.
Oh.
No human, do it like this.
Not like hard, just enough to let me know that I was doing it wrong.
I've trained you better than this, human.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, well, I guess we will just stay on hold until Outro comes back.
Well, since his character is off, what is their character's name again? I already forgot it.
Syrup.
Damn.
Sit
No, cat. This is why I can't have a pop filter on my mic, because the cat will knock it into the microphone, and then it can't do its job as a pop filter, and it sounds terrible as it hits the microphone.
Autumn, please.
She's the worst, and also I love her. She's
yeah,
at least in her basket, so there's that.
Sitrep has gone off to destroy the place for us.
So if we want to come back into the action, well, we can wait for them to get back, or they can join us when they get back. And
We got to get Romeo out.
Yeah.
exactly.
There's a locked door between you and him, and also he's not in a very comfortable position for you to just easily extract him. So what do you do?
You know what we do with locked doors? We crack them open. It's called. I got repair tools for this to pop this thing open.
You do.
So that's what Link's gonna do. Is go to the door and like start modifying the lock.
I'm gonna say that it is risky, and I'll leave it as standard with your fine tools. I think you're okay on that regard.
Okie dokie. I'm gonna keep my special armor in case this goes poorly.
What goes
yeah.
poorly? How could that happen ever?
All right. Risky standard. I think I'll leave it at risky. We just need the door open. So, I am gonna use one of those gambits though.
Okay, I will make it disappear.
That's a crit.
Wow. Wow. Okay. What would you like your great effect to be on this? While I'm thinking of something, because I have not.
Because it's basically I was just doing it to pop the door open.
Mhm.
But I guess if I'm doing further modifications, it's going to be a case of let's see something that I might be able to get from popping this lock open. The thing I was doing earlier with the elevator, but instead of the elevator, it's the doors on this level.
Sure. Yeah, they use the old technology. Apparently, they updated the elevators first. And I'm sure everyone in this building complains about needing different key cards for the elevator than they do the rest of the building. So that's definitely the case. So yeah, you've got a key card now.
If you guys had or were waiting on me, my neighbor decided to chat my ear off about conspiracy theories with missing people.
Great.
Oh.
That's
So
fun.
I had to kind of exit that.
Mm,
Understandable. We popped a door open.
very well.
And I am off in, I don't know, probably the basement somewhere, putting charges on things.
You're probably currently on an elevator to the basement.
Mm.
and there's that terrible like elevator music playing, and you're just kind of standing there like with the medical bag that's actually full of explosives, just kind of like do 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 do, like just rocking back and forth gently while you're waiting for it to get to the basement.
It's elevator music, but it's all for some reason all done on didgeridoos.
There's a
Yes.
mirror in the elevator, and I'm just flexing at myself. And like, I look at my teeth, and I say I have a piece of spinach. I'm like, ah, shit, and like pick out the spinach from my teeth. Yeah.
Nice.
You're down the elevator.
Brilliant. Then you're got the door open. How do you get Romeo out of this?
All right.
I was gonna say, leave that to Candace.
Yeah.
I, being a medical professional, would very much like. Ooh, and I might have a thing for this.
You have a fine med kit, right?
I do now.
Oh.
Patient.
Cat.
She was very confused.
Okay. Alright. Well, we're not in combat, but,
Not yet.
but I can spend special armor to resist, a consequence if I want to. And,
Well, there's not a consequence for you to resist here, per se.
Okay. And I can study maladies, wounds, and gather information. Well, that doesn't help me. Alright, I'm gonna make a doctor roll with my fine medikit just to carefully move them over to the hover gurney without causing any harm to them.
Okay.
And I will later.
Are you going to move them to the gut hover gurney and then disengage all of the things, or is this all one? Is disengaging and moving them all one roll?
I will the disengage. What disengaging stuff are these?
So all of their vines that have been unraveled from their arms are like attached to a bunch of electrical like leads and machines and lights and stuff.
Okay, and these little electrical wire thingies that are attached to them, are they like connected to like big machines that can't be moved or anything?
They are, but you could probably snip the wires themselves, or detach them, or pull them out, or the machine themselves is not going to move, but the lead is not particularly sturdy. But if you're careless, you could probably hurt him a lot worse than otherwise.
Okay, and that's more of a that's a different role than actually not trying to.
Well, so basically, determining position and effect is like whether you try to move him and then disengage all of this, or if you try to disengage all of this and then move him, is going to be slightly different logistics. This is going to affect your position and effect, but either way, you can be a rolling doctor for this.
Okay.
And I think more than anything, it's going to affect the consequences of failure than the position and effect per se.
Gotcha. I think I will disengage these things before moving because I don't want to trigger anything that could harm.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I think we're looking at risky standard in that case.
All right. And what does a fine medkit do for me?
It allows you to do this.
Okay.
It allows you to. It gives you all of the tools you need to do this right and not just be ripping stuff out.
All right. Does anybody want to assist? Or what does a devil's bargain look like?
You can't put way bullshit here, unfortunately.
I can't, but what I can do is say say that they've already implanted him with a tracker. A perfectly mechanical electric tracker, not way bullshit tracker.
Is this like a little one of those ankle things that they put around someone?
No, it's more like it's more like the weird I'm thinking more like the Matrix, where it's like implanted in his torso, and it's actually fairly large, but it's just completely encased in his torso.
And it's obvious that it's there.
Not necessarily. You'll find it in the process, but it won't let you get it out for free, if that makes sense.
Okay.
It's not obvious, but you'll find it as part of this.
You could use that last gambit we have.
Yeah, I could use
That's
the
true.
gambit.
They're there to be used.
That is true.
I can help you out as well if this is like a lot of, all the equipment around trying to disable
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Just having more hands will be
Yeah, that's a
useful.
good idea. So
Alright, I'll
take
spend a
those.
stress.
Okay.
Risky, standard,
Bonus dice.
bonus dice.
Because you're not taking Devil's Bargain from what it sounds like.
I was about to, but I like it better.
So you're using the gambit and the help, yeah?
Yeah. Ooh, that's
Okay.
a crit.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, like I think that this is working. The two of you work in tandem very well, and as Romeo becomes disconnected from all of the machinery, he doesn't fully regain cognizance per se, but he manages to like reform his arms, so you don't have to deal with 6 foot of just massive vines everywhere. And so like they just kind of like and roll up into a normal sized arm.
I minored in botany.
So it's trivial for you to get him onto the cart at this point. So how do you get out?
Same thing as before.
Just run. Just run to the elevator.
Yeah, I am gonna put like one of those little like medical sheets over them to kind of try and hide them.
Sure. Let everybody run. Let's go. I'm gonna say this is desperate standard, because if you guys get caught with him, the consequences are going to be immediate and dire.
Fun.
I love it. Let's do
Immediate
it.
and dire consequences are my favorite.
Yeah.
Well,
Done.
you'll get your own special set of immediate and dire consequences when you place those charges.
I got another question. Who's leading us running away? Is it Krieg, our fearless pilot?
I'll lead, yeah.
All right, cool. I was just wondering, like, wait a minute, need somebody to lead this. Let's do it. This will be totally fine.
Is this another group
Desperate.
one, or are we?
Group.
That's another group one, so you're all rolling. Well, except for Sitrep, who's not there.
Yeah, not there.
I got a 5. I'll
That's
take it.
Good enough.
And it's
Oh god.
Scramble.
The scramble.
what was it?
Desperate standard.
Desperate standard.
Do we have any
We're out of gambits.
We're out of gambits, okay. Because I have no ticks in scramble. I don't know.
Oh, you might have to push yourself.
Can I?
I will
Or
definitely.
take a devil's bargain. Oh,
What? Somebody started to say something.
Oh, I was gonna say, am I able to assist M?
No, because
No.
you're
No.
part of it. You can't assist if you're also doing it. I will push though, so that I can offset that penalty.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, take 1 stress from Candace.
those ones. Candace is not having a good running day. Hey,
I'm not.
2 stress. Well, at least we got a 5, but we're gonna take some dire consequences in the process of being successful.
Yeah.
For sure.
Expected,
Okay.
though.
Is that
Mm.
dire consequence the security clock fills up?
Yeah, that's
That
definitely.
sounds like a not ideal situation. If
No.
it is.
I think what happens to represent this security clock filling up, and I guess you could possibly resist this, but I'm not sure if you guys are going to. I think what happens is as you guys get into, like, as you pass through that little that barrier, the way wall, as Candace put it, into the elevator, an alarm goes off, like just wham, 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 immediately.
Fun.
Hmm.
Yeah, unless somebody has a way to resist
Do
it.
we
I
resist an alarm going
Go ahead.
off?
Well, you can do a flashback to having like a cutoff button that you press now. As soon as it was about to blare, you hit a button and it goes or something like that. There's a couple of different ways you might think to be able to do it, but that's the most obvious one that comes to mind for me.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
You know how we screwed with the elevator earlier?
Yeah.
The making it so it's open to everybody also disabled the alarm.
Mm.
Not fully. Obviously not fully, because that would be a great thing. That would be a great thing, and a
I think
role
the,
in itself. But
I think the problem with that is the alarm is not tripped by you getting into the elevator. It's tripped by Romeo leaving this bubble.
oh, it's on Romeo for doing this. Ah, I see.
God
Okay.
damn it, Romeo.
That way wall is there to
Therefore,
contain
Romeo.
him,
God
and so when he passed through it goes off.
Look, we'll just attune to the way wall. I'm sure it's fine.
You could do that, absolutely, 100%. You could definitely attune to the way wall in order to stop the alarm from going off when this happens.
Anybody got a tune?
I mean, technically, you wouldn't.
Technically,
roll-
we all. Yeah, we wouldn't.
First of
roll
all, you all have a tune. You have the ability to, even if you don't have any dots in it. Second of all, you're going to roll resolve to
Ah.
resist it.
Yeah, I don't. The problem is, I don't think Link would think of that. I don't think anybody on our crew would think of that.
Candace might, since she's the one who identified it.
All right. Yeah. if
That's
you wanna
true.
do that,
You did, and you definitely would have some insight into that. It might trip if something with highway potential, breach the barrier,
Mhm.
and you might have said something at the time like that. It's a good thing we don't have a mystic with us, or something like that, because whatever. And I'm going to tell you this as a little secret. This is the reason why Julia could not do this mission herself.
Oh, that tracks. That tracks.
Of course, despite knowing that, she did not give you this information, but that's
That
completely different.
bitch. I'm gonna charge
But
her
you don't
for
know
this.
that she knows.
Right.
Anyway,
Uh,
and you don't technically know that she's an incredibly powerful way being, or way practitioner. Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, I will resist this.
Sure.
Resolve, correct?
Yes, resolve. Mhm.
No
This is
bonus
us making a
dice.
way wormhole.
Woo!
Oh, nice.
No sweat at all. I'm gonna say we're still gonna get 2 ticks on here, one just for time passing, and one for someone having attuned to the way wall that leaves like a psychic impression that could be picked up on.
Cool. I'm loving this.
You're in the
Treading
elevator.
that line.
I think I think like the elevator doors close, and then elevator doors open, and now we're looking like 5 minutes in the past at Sit Rep coming out into the basement and planting some charges.
Yep. And I'm like whistling a like whatever song is on the space radio now and is stuck in my head while I'm going about this.
Absolutely. And yeah, what does it look like? And I don't want to assume that the action that you're taking is rig, but why don't you
it's
tell
definitely
me?
rig. I am definitely trying to rig the building to explode.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna say that this is risky standard. I think that you're in a fairly underpopulated spot of the building, and you know where you need to set the charges. It's just a matter of how well you can do it without getting caught.
Do we have any gambits left?
No,
No, we're
We
all
used
out.
all of them to get Romeo out.
you did.
Okay, here we go.
You do have stress and devil's bargains and that fun stuff. That's
Roll
it.
4.
4?
Good enough.
It's good enough. Yeah, the building is gonna blow, but oh man, yeah. Who's your friend that sold you the timers on these? Because he did you dirty. These are gonna go off sooner than you expect.
Of course they fucking are. And as I like noticed that, I'm like, you fucking would. So whoever the person, like I kind of like cursed
I picture
their name.
you're like pressing like there's like a like an add minute button, and you go up, trying to get it up to like 5 or 10 minutes or something.
Stops
and
at
it just stops
7
at
for
3.
some reason. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, all right, I'm gonna go to 10 minutes, and then it stops at 7, and you just keep hitting the up button, and nothing happens. So you have less time to get out, and the elevator's gone. How do you get out? You're in the basement, and your ride is on the roof.
I get out the same way I came in. I'm about to take that elevator up.
That elevator's gone.
Currently
What
all way on
about
top
the
floor.
other elevator? The freight elevator.
I don't think the freight elevator goes to the roof. I think there's only one elevator that goes to the roof.
Take it as far up as you can and just run up the
And then use the
stairs.
stairs.
That you could
That-
definitely
that's pretty
do.
much the plan.
Okay.
If only you had a
Uh,
grappling hook that you could just fucking go outside the building and grapple
No,
your way all the
Crow-
time.
if Crow was
Hey,
here, we
spy
would have
person?
it.
Hey, spy person, do you have like spy gear on you?
I'm more of an informant kind of spy than a I'm going to infiltrate this place kind of spy.
Okay,
Unfortunately,
so you
spy-
got no gear.
Spy gear unfortunately does not include grappling hooks.
No, it's more like it's more like one of those little mini radio receiver satellite dishes that you can hear conversations from like a mile away or whatever. It's more like that kind of spy gear.
Do you have suction cup shoes? Is what I want to know.
No,
If not,
sadly.
why not?
Okay.
I'm pissed that I don't have suction cup shoes now. Up, actually. Thanks
You've
for
got the
ruining my
loadout
day,
for it.
Shae.
Get one.
Jeez.
Not only has this friend who sold you these timers ruined your day, now Shae has ruined your day.
Yeah,
Look,
the
it's
person
not,
who
it is not me. You were
person who
supposed
sold
to
me
get the suction
timer
cup
for
shoes
one
from
forgot
your,
to give me
your
my
contact.
We both talked at the same time there, so
Yeah,
it
sorry.
came out into mumbled nonsense, but it's okay.
All right. Freight elevator to the stairs. I'm sure you'll make it. I'm sure
Yep.
none of us will be killed by this explosion.
No, not a
Hey,
one.
Listen, that's
warning
part
the people
of
in
the
this
course for
building.
this game
True.
or this channel.
Do you let them know that they have less time than they're expecting to get out?
The real question is, how
immediately.
good of a breakup did Sitrep and Krieg have?
I don't know. That's up to you. I'm kind of supporting your
That-
character.
No,
here
that was
more
a
than-
joke on how much time we had. There we go.
Mhm.
Kelsa got it.
Yes. So I think that you're all going your own separate ways, and it's just a matter is if you can get to the ship.
Mhm.
And seems to me like a scramble may be most appropriate here. But I think the only person who really needs to roll is Sitrep, because he's the one running up the stairs.
I would like to know what a devil's bargain is here.
Ooh.
Security alarm goes off and everybody starts evacuating in a panic.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Hey, I have ideas.
Yeah, how do you like the alarm going off and everybody's starting to
I'm
evacuate?
running the
panic?
opposite direction against stampede
Yeah.
traffic. Oh
Uh-huh.
god. Okay, I will take that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I got some.
Hey!
Flip, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, you're like running up the stairs, and I think maybe it's you. Like the devil's bargain is you flipping the fire alarm while you're running up the stairs. Like you run up a level, like you get off the freight elevator and you run up a level, and then you're like,
I think
shit,
it'll
this is-
open it. I think it'll open it emergency doors, but it really just pisses. It really just throws the whole place into chaos.
Yeah, something like that. And you just flip it down, and then like you start running up, and like every time just as you pass by one of the doors, like it flips open and people start pouring down the stairs behind you, but somehow you manage to miss the like entire stampede, but it's definitely like crashing behind you. A number of people definitely saw you going up instead of down, but they're not going to question it, at least not right now.
Okay. Yeah, they don't got time to question it. They're in a panic. But I am wearing EMT, so maybe it looks like I'm a first responding.
That's true too. Awesome.
Let's pile in that ambulance and fly away.
Yeah. Get us out of here, Krieg.
Let's get the heck out of here.
First responders are on the way because the alarm went off, so you've got moments to clear the vicinity.
Let's do it. All right, just a straight up helm.
Yeah, I think so. And I think we're looking at risky standard right now, so nothing.
Would that last roll have gotten us a gambit since it was a 6?
Yeah, actually, it would. That's a good point. It was a
'Cause I'm a
6
scoundrel.
on a risky, and you didn't spend a gambit, so yeah, you generated a gambit right there for sure. Would you like to spend that gambit right now, so I don't have to put it on the board?
Yeah, I was thinking I was going to do that. And I also think I'm going to... Can I? Yeah, I can afford pushing with Leaf on the Wind. I also want to make this desperate so that I can get more experience. Listen,
very
Flashbulb
last
taught me to always Leaf on the Wind at every opportunity.
I mean, yeah, I think that there's like you can do some risky maneuvers to basically
Get out of that scene.
Sorry, you cut out there for me right when
to try and do some fancy maneuvers to try and get out of there before the first responders can see us leaving.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
We don't wanna
Like
get followed.
exactly.
All right.
Like one of those things where like you you like drop off the side and like you kick in the boosters like 3/4 of the way to the ground or whatever.
All right, so I want to flip it to desperate with the +1 effect. Where does it become? Great.
Extreme, because you're leap on the wind, right?
Hell yeah. All right, and then I'm gonna
so if
burn
you
that
succeed, you guys get all the way back, and you guys are out of the area before the building even explodes. Like you're not even. Yeah, you're just gone.
We're back home in time for dinner.
Exactly.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Guess we're not home in time for dinner.
We're not home in time for dinner.
So you do like this crazy move where you're like, all right, we're going to drop off the side of the building. I'm going to engage the thrusters 3/4 of the way to the ground, and we're just going to jet out of here. You engage the thrusters 3/4 of the way to the ground, and they sputter out and die.
Oh no!
The entire ambulance crashes to the ground from 30 stories up.
Hey, we might be at the finale sooner than we thought.
Everybody takes level 3 harm.
No.
I am going to use my special armor to resist this. My special armor is from consequence of machines breaking or being damaged.
Oh no.
Whoo!
I'm also
okay.
patient, so I can also spend special armor somehow.
So I don't think you have to. I think what this is just because of the way Link is a mechanic. I think the engine sputters and she's like, shit. And like pulls out a wrench and like bangs it on it, and it like flares back to life just in time for it to crash gently and kind of like skid to a stop. But you definitely did not get away. And I don't think that this ambulance is going to fly again. But you guys don't take any damage. You manage to, basically at the cost of the ambulance, you saved everyone from taking any harm.
That's totally fine. That's totally fine.
You didn't promise to bring that back to him, did you?
I did, and you're paying for it now. I'm sorry.
None of us are gonna pay for anything if we don't get out of here right now.
Yeah, how do you get away? Like this is ambulance. You guys are like in the alley next to a building that's going to explode, and your ambulance is garbage. And your rescuee is unconscious.
Guys, I know they say never look back at explosions because it's not cool, but this is a cool ass explosion. You gotta watch the work I did.
Maybe not from this close.
You don't want to be in range of it.
Gotta steal
Is there
another
empty
car.
ambulance around?
No, there's probably some kind of car though.
Let's load him up into the car and let's get out of here.
We'll hide
yeah. How do you? Who is stealing this car? Are you breaking a window? Are you?
If I'm stealing it, I am definitely breaking a window and then like hot wiring it like the old school way, and then realizing it doesn't work, and then like I don't know, Link just presses a button on their hacking kit and the car starts.
Why do all your characters break everything?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, who wants to... So it sounds like you're volunteering Link to roll a hack to get this to start.
I was just gonna, like, you were hotwiring it. I was just gonna help you hotwire it, because that's definitely something a car in this setting would be able to have done to it. Yeah. If you want to rig it, I can help you, because I think that fictionally makes sense.
Yeah, I think so too.
On the draw. Because Link was a little bit busy saving us all from almost dying initially.
It's true.
So, but yeah, I'll spend a stress to help you out.
Okay. I'm going to roll a rig. What is the position effect?
Desperate standard. don't forget your XP. But yeah, this is desperate because you need it to work right the first time, or you're all caught in an explosion.
Fuck. That's not good.
Ooh.
That is no bueno.
I probably should have done this, but whatever. This is what happens when my traumas come into play.
I mean, fictional positioning, it was definitely Sitrep who was on the ball to have this done.
Wait, Sitrep, do you only have one? Do you not have anything in rig normally?
I have one in rig.
Then you should have one more
die.
die. Yeah, you should have one more die.
Hey,
Much
it's
better.
Ooh, we didn't.
Turns out you did.
Turns
You're
out
welcome.
I lied about my failure, and I'm actually a highly successful carjacker.
Yeah. You guys all managed to pile into the car, including unconscious Romeo, and bust out of there. But like pieces of building are raining down on the car as you are driving away. But I think you guys managed though to get gone at this point. And so you'll be able to deliver Romeo safely to his sister, collect Crow, and your 9 cred for having blown up the building as well as saving Romeo.
Damn, 9 cred. I like it.
I need an extra
Incredible.
one to pay for that ambulance.
I definitely think that's fair.
Yeah. You need to pay for the ambulance. We want your hospital admin friend to still be on your good side.
To still have a job.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's do payoff.
Hey, we don't have a ship to upkeep, guys.
We also technically don't have a heat value thing because we're not the same crew.
This is all technicalities.
Yeah. Fine.
This is all technicalities. You're all affiliated with the Rocksteady.
I love how we're doing this. The Rocksteady is gonna show up in Iota and be like, "Why?
Why are we getting arrested? Crow, did you do something?"
Maybe. I mean, because this is definitely going to give you guys a lot of heat, you do, in fact, get the heat associated with the Rocksteady, because whether or not you are actually part of the crew, technically or not, enough of you are affiliated with the crew, been seen with them, that it's going to bring scrutiny to the Rocksteady one way or another. For you.
Important question that may hurt us or explain why the Rocksteady is getting this heat. Did Link get recognized at all?
No.
No.
She didn't. Yala did not see her once, so it was yeah.
And now she's dead.
But no,
I don't think she is. I think she got out of the building.
She definitely got out of the building. You don't get rid of your nemesis that easily. If you want to rid yourself of a nemesis, it's going to take more than accidentally getting them caught in an explosion.
Yeah, you gotta have an epic samurai showdown.
Exactly.
Or a very tense talk.
So, I think this is loud and chaotic, and that's high explosion. You might not have been recognized, but people saw you guys run. See more than one person saw an ambulance crash out of the sky. A group of people carry an unconscious body, break a window, and then drive away very quickly, and immediately a building explodes behind them. That was incredibly suspicious, and they've got some descriptions of all of you, including Romeo. So it's
put 2 and 2 together. Yeah.
The only reason it's not wild, devastating exposure is because this is not something where any security footage of you guys was destroyed in the blast. So that's anything is going to be hearsay and eyewitnesses, as opposed to video on HNN.
Mhm.
However, you definitely killed hegemonic citizens, and there was also massive property damage. And I don't think this was considered a high profile or well connected target. I think he was trying to be well connected, but not yet. But yeah, we're looking at 12 heat.
12. Damn.
Yep. Because you get 2 for killing hegemonic citizens and 2 for massive property damage.
We did manage.
Is Loud and Chaotic 8?
No. Oh, sorry. I was looking at wild. Sorry. It is 8. You're right. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah.
I did kick it down from 6 to 4. I just can't do math.
8 is still a wanted
8
level.
is still a wanted level. 8 is still a lot.
Yeah, it just means you don't have to actually move anything on the Ioto thing. You just put the wanted level thing one more higher.
Perfect.
Hooray! Yay! How are we splitting up that cred, y'all? We should have figured that out before the heat, but
4 of us, so we would get 8
2
credit.
each.
Yeah, 2 each.
All right.
I'm getting
And-
the
And
extra for the ambulance.
That's why it's 2 each. We had
Yeah, and then one to pay for the ambulance. Yeah, that tracks. That tracks.
I
Sorry, honey. It was
think
really crazy, but I'm a hero, you know.
Mm-hmm.
this was Sitrep's last job before going civvy and getting out of the business. So they
Mhm.
don't keep the money, and they give Krieg a big wet smooch on the lips while they aren't paying attention, because they're hot and bothered from blowing stuff up.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because
It's
Love
definitely
it.
Reciprocated, you know.
reciprocated explosion hornies.
Yeah. Listen, I got to crash a thing, so it's fine.
Yep. Great. So we still got a little bit of time left. Do we want to do some downtime? Does anyone have any downtime that they would particularly like to do?
Let's see
Definitely
what
need to-
entanglement the Rocksteady crew is gonna end up getting from
Oh,
our
that's a good
It just,
question.
the camera just like the camera scene changes and there's just like Neki with that like flat eye kind of expression where it's just like that the fuck. And then one of the ears just goes twitch.
You're sensing a disturbance in the way, I see.
Yes.
Oh, well, I guess this tracks since you don't have a mechanic right now. Ship trouble. Well, no, you do actually. You got a mechanic, so it's just a new mechanic. Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not.
Because they're a mechanic now. So a ship system damaged. Acting up. Okay, I'm gonna roll for what system it is, just because I don't want to make decisions right now.
The jump drive.
Actually, it is the jump drive. That's what I said, so.
Good, excellent.
I was rolling a d4 for 1 is comms, 2 is engines, 3 is weapons, 4 is hull, and then if I got comms or weapons, I was going to roll a d3 or d2 to figure out which one under it. So obviously it is the jump drive, so that's great. Yeah, I'm going to write that down here.
Have fun, Rocksteady.
I guess we're kind of stuck where we're at then, huh?
You'll be able to fix it. Fantastic. So,
Candace, I think
Fall's a nice place.
that's true.
Just like try to turn on the ship, it just doesn't turn on. Just like
Nightfall's a nice
Ooh,
place.
forgot to
It'd be a
fuel up.
shame if some PCs got their hands on it.
Downtime.
Yeah.
I think Link Link needs to indulge her vice?
Yeah.
What does she need to take apart?
That's a good question. What does she have now on hand, since she's not like working on a ship anymore?
Half of an ambulance.
Yeah, they take the ambulance to the scrapyard. She just goes there. Oh no, she goes to visit Breaker, because Breaker's in system.
That's true. Yeah, it wouldn't take much for you to get a ship over to Indri, or just outside of Indri, as the case may be.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Gonna go to the junkyard, and the ambulance just happens to be there. Half of it, of course.
Of course.
Of it.
Yeah. Take it apart, put it back together. So, let's indulge that vice.
Crime scene investigated. Don't worry about it.
And she overindulges. Excellent.
Oh no.
She's gone again.
You just got
She's
back.
gone again. Yep. She's gone again. I mean, last time she didn't overindulge to be gone. She just left. So now she'll actually be gone.
You just got back.
She's just gonna work for Breaker for a bit, because she's like, I wanna do the thing I did with the shuttle with this ambulance.
She likes them. They like her.
Timer
It's
on
cool.
disappearing with Breaker is expired, so no. No, you're.
Yeah, you gotta go get your Breaker side missions in. Awesome.
I need that Breaker loyalty mission, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you get a mount when you finish that trial thing.
Yeah, it's a mechanical chicken mount.
The other thing I'm going to do, which I wanted to do, was make some stun gloves.
Ooh, stun gloves. Heck yeah.
Those don't sound like a real thing.
Do it.
They're going to be.
They will be. Do the thing that you need to do the thing.
All right. It's not a crafting roll yet, because I have to make the schematics for them first, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So how long is that clock?
For clocks. That is a very good question.
I'm pretty sure that's how that works. It's been a while since I did like crafting related things.
How does, let's see here, crafting.
Usually a
Here we
6 o'clock, but
Let's see. Design. Most designs will require an 8-segment progress clock to invent and learn.
right.
What type of device is this, and what does it do?
It is a pair of stun gloves, which are meant to be like inconspicuous gloves, but can send an electric shock into somebody that would render them unconscious. It's basically a stun baton, but even more inconspicuous because they're gloves.
Okay. So that's gonna be like people within reach. Yeah. How long does it stun them for?
However long stun things usually work in this setting, which is not.
I'm gonna say like a couple minutes, probably. Okay. So your minimum quality is going to be 1.
Okay.
It would
That's
be at
fair.
least minimum quality 1. That's nothing really.
Yeah.
What complexity did you have to overcome that keeps this design from being widely used?
Having a power source that is small enough / diffused enough that it can be inconspicuous.
Okay.
It's usually like it's one of two things happen. One, you have it like in a battery pack, like in a stun batons, or if you have something that's actually inconspicuous, it's really high tech and like not something you normally get access to. It's like guild engineer stuff. But yeah, this is a like I'm gonna build the set of scrap parts, that kind of thing. So
I definitely think then one of the drawbacks is this is going to be limited use.
for sure, yeah.
Like maybe you've rigged it up so that it can take like I don't know, a lightning charge or something. But you have to like swap them out after each use.
They require recharges. There's probably like a thing like in the wrist or something that it's like this is basically the battery pack, and like it's like it has like a use or two before you gotta recharge. They're emergency tools, you know.
Yep. Cool. Yeah.
Krieg needs to indulge their vice as well. And This one is more of the same, sending a cred to his family. And I think this time he drags Sitrep along to introduce to his mother.
Are,
Yeah.
is this a like a virtual like Zoom meeting, or is this
Yeah,
are you going out to dinner with your mother?
Oh God. We established that they're on injury.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
I mean,
that's-
Link already went over to injuries, so it would
yeah.
be.
No, it's completely viable that they could do this in person with all like
Yeah.
20 of his siblings as well. Oh God.
Right.
Yeah. No. That's
Everybody
perfect.
just
That's
happens to
perfect.
be-
All of the siblings are just hanging off of Sitrep, and just
Mhm.
like just harassing him as young sibling children do. Yeah, no, it's meeting his mom and siblings. You got to. Too bad. Deal with it.
Rep is a gorgeous himbo, so it's just
There you go.
that's how that whole situation goes.
Yep.
Mhm.
His
He's like, look,
gorgeous,
I have my
his
biceps,
gorgeous
children.
bulldog himbo.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm gonna roll that, and I cannot overindulge because I have 7 stress currently.
Nice.
Yeah, of course. Now I
Howdy.
roll a 6.
Nice.
That
I
was
mean,
great.
that's
Now-
pretty good though. You know,
yeah. I
I was
not
down to only 1 strength left.
instead of when I made the ambulance nosedive into the street.
It'll be our secret. It's fine.
I was gonna say I could change his call sign to Launchpad instead.
Oh, ouch. Yeah. So you have a very sweet but hectic dinner with your family, and your lovely bulldog himbo.
But yeah, I guess at this time there's like a scene where Sitrep's just like, so you know I'm out, right? This is the last job. It's the last time I'm doing any of this stuff. I'm gonna go back to school.
School?
Yeah, go back to school. Be a teacher or something.
Oh, yeah, no, that's
I'm gonna say that as like one of your smaller siblings like runs by after, I don't know, playing with some toy that I showed him or something crazy. I don't know.
no, you're
It's
good with
explosive.
kids.
Yeah, no, you know, it's too stressful, you know, like always gotta be somewhere listening to something, telling somebody else what somebody else said or what they want the other person to have said, you know, it's just too much for me now. Getting old. Tired.
No, that's fair. I gotta keep flying though. Much better than what you saw today normally.
You know, for as much of a mess that it was and like how we didn't really get out of there super clean, it did kind of go without a hitch for the most part though.
Yeah. Has a way of coming back at you though. I'm sure it'll be fine. He just takes a long sip of his coffee.
Oh, I'm just getting out of this system and never coming back.
That's fine.
I'll be on Nightfall if you ever need to find me.
You have the comm channel for the Rocksteady.
Mm-hmm. Don't be a stranger.
Also, I want to imagine that his mug, as he sips it, also says Galaxy's best pilot.
It says that in like really terrible handwriting because this was handcrafted by one of your siblings.
Course. It's his favorite mug, and it's going to end up on the Rocksteady now.
Oh, I love it. That's so sweet. I love it. Okay. Anyone else have any downtime that they would like to take care of?
I have to finish my long-term project for my stun glove.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was gonna say my only other thing would have been training in not resolve, prowess, so that I could get uptick and scramble. So
Okay.
that's
Turns
my
out.
2.
Lots of running.
Yeah.
Spend your cred and roll some dice.
What was the stun gloves ended up being 8 segment?
Yeah.
Okay, I that was the thing I was not clear on. So let's rig it up. Rig it up. I'm just gonna roll this as risky standard. I don't have anybody helping me. I don't think Breaker knows enough about this in order to help me out, so.
Has
fine.
Link ever been punched in the face? Does Link not know that getting punched in the face is stunning in and of itself?
I think Link knows, but there's a difference between punching somebody in the face and just holding onto them and just shocking them with electricity. Different feelings.
Oh, so
also,
you're a sadist. Got it.
You know. Also, she doesn't really do this that much. Like, this is literally her being like, I need this in case of emergencies because she's soft now. She doesn't want to fight.
Oh yeah, I
people.
forgot you had that trauma.
Yeah, she has soft and unstable. She's like not in this.
I don't want to fight people, but also I'm totally cool with shooting electricity through their nervous systems.
So,
but if I have to, I will shock a bitch.
Yeah, 4 ticks because she has Tinker, which gives us +1 segment.
Cool. Awesome. Nice.
So she's halfway there.
Dope.
Yeah. I'm curious what Candace is doing.
Candace doesn't like having a wanted level, so she's gonna try to lay low first of all.
Hmm.
And
Well, you're currently in the system where you just gained a wanted level, and I don't know if Candace would know enough about the Rocksteady. Well, I guess if you're friends both with, if you're friends with also like, if you know both Krieg and Dr.
Sang.
Dr. Sang. Then yeah, okay, maybe you could try to get that down for Holt.
Yeah, what are the wanted levels for the other places?
Holt is the only other one with a wanted level when they have a wanted level of 2.
Wow.
I thought we had a wanted level of 1 in both of them. I think you may have put the wanted level in the wrong place. Or did we have 2 when we left?
Well,
I don't think
I think I cleared
Did we?
cleared the Ren system last time, or I remember
We
at
did.
some point I cleared the Ren system.
Yeah. Because we cleared the Rin system to get out. I don't remember. Maybe we did. I was just like, huh.
But you know that's fair. She may not be fully aware. There were other things I had the idea of doing.
I thought you only when we started we only had 2 in Holt, and then
Yeah, maybe we
had
did.
1. Then we just got 1 in Iota.
Oh, we didn't have any in Iota. Okay, that's where I was missing. Okay, cool. It's all good. Yeah.
Okay, so I have the option to lay low or train out of those 2, and then I have an idea for something else that has a 50% chance of me overindulging.
Always do a long-term project, or you can just have a scene with like one of us. You know.
It's true.
Yeah.
Scenes are cool.
Yeah. You curious about any of the other people that you just did a job with, or you're just like, I'm gonna go do my own thing?
Well, you went to another planet.
We all went to Injury.
Yeah, everybody did.
Yeah, we went
Yeah,
to Injury.
Y'all could have hopped on a space bus and gone over there together.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the oh gosh, do I lay low or do I train first of all?
You could do both. You have 2 downtime actions.
Yeah, but I wanted to do like a scene thing for the indulge.
You want to indulge twice as well.
I don't need to.
I mean, what were you going to train in? I guess is the question.
Probably insight or prowess.
And then the question for Laylo would be, how were you like getting the hegemony off the Rocksteady's bag?
probably just doing her doctor work, helping people, being
Being a philanthropist.
a philanthropist.
Oh, hi, Autumn.
But yeah, I'd probably just do the doctor thing for a little bit, working at the clinic, not raising any suspicions, and whenever someone asks about, hey, did you hear about that one place that blew up? And like, nope.
Nope. Nope. Nope. Nope.
Nope.
Sure didn't.
Is this gonna blow up? I didn't even know that was possible.
No, it's like, no, it would be like, yeah, I did hear about it. I have a lot of fucking patience. Get out.
Yes, good.
That's what it would be.
Brilliant. So yeah, that sounds good to me. Roll your doctoring to get some low laying.
Wait.
Oh,
what's that?
land.
Whoa, wait.
What's position effect?
Neither. It's a fortune roll.
Oh, fortune roll.
Using your doctor rating. So
Oh, do I just click doctor?
you can just click doctor and click whatever position effect you want, or you can click on fortune roll and put in the number of dice that equal to the number of dots you have in doctor,
Oh, okay.
which is 3.
Yeah.
Sector's best doctor.
Oh,
There you go.
Nice.
That's wrong.
so that's 3 out of 8 ticks, and all of the heat is gone from Holt, but there is still those wanted levels for now.
Alrighty. I think the other thing, I will probably indulge Vice. I think Krieg and Crow and probably Zhang would be aware of this when they served when they were in the 51st. Just smeared my makeup. I think she wants to go to a skin bar, and she's going to invite everybody.
Oh.
Okay. Who comes?
She's also going to
Yes.
invite.
Oh,
me.
you know for a fact our friend Sitrep's gonna be there, but they go by Doug when they're out on the town.
Doug, son of Doug.
She's also inviting Lily. And she's just like, hey, really sorry about the ambulance, but I paid for it, and I just came across a nice bit of money. Would you join us?
Yeah, what's Linny like, since we're gonna really see her on camera now?
I think I think she and Candace have had this weird bit of professional flirting going on for like a long time, and not a lot's come of it, but they continue to do it. I think she's not she's very professional and organized, and runs the hospital really fluidly, but isn't really. I'm trying to think of the right term for it. They're not aggressive in the way they do it, but they're not soft either. They're firm but fair. And they have a lighthearted sense of humor too. So, which is why this weird flirting goes on in the professional environment all the time.
Human?
Human, yeah.
Okay. All right. Great. So she'll come. Sure. And
Fantastic.
Link, do you join?
Yeah, sure. I think since she was invited, she will. This isn't her usual thing, but like, you know, it's not gonna be rude.
Awesome.
Yeah, let's do it.
What do you think? What do you think that looks like?
Candace definitely probably gets a bit tipsy and tries to dance on stage.
Doggy teaching people how to Dougie.
That's funny.
That is funny though. Yeah. So was that your indulging vice?
Yes! Woo!
Indulge some vice.
I overindulge.
You overindulge indeed. How what? I
I didn't realize I had 2 dice.
yeah, 2 dice. Are you are you getting lost
I think
in
so.
the moment?
I probably wake up in bed with someone, probably Lenny, not just saying.
Seems likely.
Seems
Glad
likely.
Link is here fifth wheeling.
Link's like, I'm just happy to be included.
I'm just happy to be here.
Oh, poor Link.
I mean,
You're
that's,
like,
that's why she ends up going back to Breaker's friggin' junkyard, because she's like, I know somebody who will appreciate me.
I saw too many
We
naked
appreciate
aliens.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're never a fifth wheel around them.
I think
True.
before all that happens, though, Candace is probably like sitting down with everyone and like just like casually talking. So, Krieg, you gotta tell me, how has the bounty hunting business been going?
Oh, well, he just sips. It's fine.
That bad, huh?
We have a cat that thinks it owns the ship.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing.
That kind of just sounds like a cat, you know?
Yeah.
But like,
No, but
it's
it can talk.
Oh shit, that's not like
That's
a normal
cool.
thing.
And has warp powers. No, it's cool, but it thinks it owns the ship, and it thinks it is the captain. And Link has said it before, but we've like checked the register, and it's not in the cat's name. But they still. The actual captain is gone. I don't even know where they went.
Did we ever have an actual captain? I got to the ship and I wasn't a captain.
I think Crow airlocked them at some point.
Oh,
Probably
I did not ever hear about
Probably
this.
accidentally. I'm just gonna set this lore for Crow now because he's not here to refute it.
Setting Crow up as like airlocking the original owner of the ship.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
It was
great.
in a drunken stupor. It was totally accidental.
That's why I could never find them when we looked up the register.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm gonna stay away from Crow for the next little while.
I'd stay away from airlocks more.
Yes, that is a thing, but yeah, just like sips her drink, just like I'm not gonna say anything more about that.
Yeah, we should add a confirmation button before airlocking things. Are you sure you want to airlock this person? Yes or no?
Yeah. Is that everybody's downtime that they're gonna be downtiming?
Did Candace have more to say here?
Oh, I was just going to continue the conversation, but it's fine. Yeah, it's about everything.
Okay.
Probably at the end of it,
Okay.
I'm like, come on, buddy, let's go dance, and
We never
I
see
take
them
off my
again.
shirt and go dance.
Well, we've got about 10 minutes left, so why don't we power through some experience?
Yeah, let's do it. All right. Starting from the top, Rocksteady gets experience for this because
For some reason.
don't worry about it.
Who are we going to give it to? The ambulance?
New crew, the ambulance.
Did you execute a successful extraction, operation, or capture of a bounty?
You better believe we did.
You did. Did you contend with challenges above your current station? You did. Did you bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one?
What is the reputation of the Rocksteady? Savvy. And are we working on one? Inconspicuous. Oh, that's not the one we're working on.
We're not very conspicuous.
We were pretty savvy, though, I think.
Kind of.
I think you were pretty savvy.
Our like initial entry, yeah.
Yeah.
Express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of this crew.
I mean, part of it was the conversation at the end, where
for sure.
Where Krieg and Link are both like this cat on the ship, and also Crow.
This cat doe.
This cat, though. And then, gosh, what else? I guess for the rest of the crew, like, our goal was to get as much money as possible, and we did it. That was something we had tried to do.
Absolutely. I agree in all of those. So give yourself some XPs.
6, 7?
I was counting 5, but I'm not the one that assigns XP.
Because it's 1 for the extraction operation. I
Right.
was thinking 2 for the challenge of current station, because we did multiple times.
I guess that's fair.
1 for bolster reputation, for sure. And then
Okay.
2 for the expressing, so 6.
6.
You know what that is? Crew advance.
Yeah.
Which means we have 2 advances banked up now.
That means you guys can get smooth criminals and get an extra stress box for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
That's
What you're saving up for, right?
I believe that was what we were saving up for. That also means everybody gets stash.
Yep.
Stash.
3 stash.
Ooh, that's going to fill out my second row.
Same.
Nice. And so you get 3 of these boxes for smooth criminals. You still have 1 box left. Do you know what else you wanted to get besides smooth criminals? An AI module, a galley, a science bay, some more training.
We should get the galley so that we can actually eat.
That would be nice. Are y'all good with having a kitchen that's definitely gonna just turn into a bar if Crow ever comes back to the ship?
I mean, yes.
All right, cool. There we go.
All right, done. That's taken care of. Candace,
Yeah.
did you remember to mark your desperate actions? Because there were quite a few of those today.
I did. I got 2 of them, I think.
Awesome. Did you address a tough challenge with insight or compassion?
Twice. Once with the way wall, and
Mhm.
again, trying not to hurt a plant person.
Yeah, totally. Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
Yes. Speaking with the crew and meeting old 51st buddies.
Yeah.
And also coming from a clinic, being a retired combat medic.
Yeah, that all tracks. Did you struggle with any issues from your vice or traumas? You
out.
did. You did overindulge, but you do not have a trauma.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool.
Awesome.
Sit rep, you still get XP.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't intend on playing this character again. I
Alright,
kind
we'll
of
skip him.
retired them on stream, so.
No problem. We'll just skip it. Link.
I'm gonna do the XP, even though I don't think Link will ever actually come back to the Rocksteady, which I've said
That's
before.
fair. You have said that before.
But I'll still do the XP for her because
You never know.
yeah.
She's more likely than never, but still very unlikely.
Yeah, she's very unlikely, and it's a thing of like it still feels like the right thing to do because she's an established character who's been going through the XP process anyway.
I agree. Did you address the tough challenge with technical skill or ingenuity?
I did, in fact, with the elevators and the doors mostly.
Yeah.
As well as saving us from all taking grievous harm.
Yeah, we almost died and you saved us.
Yeah, you did all almost die. That is very true. Express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
Yes. Definitely the background of formerly being part of the Guild of Engineers.
Yeah, for
came
sure.
up quite a few times. And Yala, of course, being there. And, so that all definitely happened.
And did you struggle with any issues from your vice or traumas?
I overindulged.
Yep, and you also struggled with your vice. Or not your vice, your trauma.
I did.
Yeah.
Being soft and unstable does not help with this. So I got a playbook advance.
Nice.
Into prowess. So I think she's going to take. Jeez, what is she gonna take? What do I have left? Junkyard Hunter, Hacker, Overclock Analyst, or Overclock and Analyst, and then non-mechanic things.
I feel like Junkyard Hunter makes sense with her spending so much time.
Yeah.
At the junkyard.
Yeah, she's gotten a knack for it. So yeah, I'll take that.
All right.
Like...
Krieg.
Hi. Yeah, I marked my desperates. Lot of tough challenges with speed and flare. Crashing a ship. Rushing everybody out of the place. Charging everybody into the place. Acting like the trauma team. A lot of speed, a lot of flare, a lot of leaf on the wind. Same deal on the backgrounds. Hey, these are my old military buddies. A lot of the beliefs and drives of, hey, have this connection again. Here's my family. All of that good stuff. Struggled with trauma. It's cold. So I always just kind of play him very chilled and detached. And I don't know if that really counts anymore because he's just always been cold.
I mean, it didn't give you any issues.
Yeah, it didn't cause any problems. So it's like I don't know if it makes
and one of your lovers came back into your life too, and you showed some affection there.
That's true. That's true. You did get to meet parents. That's not cold at all.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like we haven't really seen any.
He was very dismissive of somebody getting airlocked, though.
I mean, true, but
it could be a case of maybe you change what your trauma is, if it doesn't keep coming up.
Maybe
that's true.
It came up because when did it come up? When did you get cold? Was it back on Lithios or like?
I don't even remember. Something caused him to trauma out, and it was cold, and it did come up one time for experience, and then it's just kind of been how he's acted this whole time. Maybe I could change it to reckless because of the crash.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'll make it reckless, and we'll just be more and more radical now. That's like sunglasses.
We are never going to be inconspicuous.
I mean,
not with this many reckless people on the crew. It makes it pretty hard.
Krieg is really just taken after Flashbulb, just like leaf on the wind.
Yeah, like I've never met this person, but I aspire to be just like them.
I don't think Flashbulb was never reckless, was she? Because she was just like vicious.
Yeah, you had vicious.
Yeah. But leaf on the wind makes you do crazy things.
Yep.
It does. That's a fact. Great. Well, that's everybody then. All the XP is accounted for. So let's do outros. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do outros. Starting with outro.
Starting with me, how could we do that? That's not how this works.
That's how it
Hi, I'm
always
Outro.
works.
I am currently not doing anything other than this on Thursdays, but I would like to start more shows either on my channel or other channels. So if you're casting, let me know. I'm casting. I have a form. I'll put it out on Twitter again. I haven't really retweeted it since like the beginning or the end of December. So yeah, but that's me. You can find me on Twitter, Outro42, or on Twitch, Outro1.
Why don't we jump on over to Saint because Rhys is not here to do theirs next.
Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Saintguard. I'm a variety streamer, voice actor, game designer, and sometimes jam at tabletop role-playing games. Usually you can find me over on my own channel, twitch.tv/Saintguard. I am currently playing through Dishonored 2. I'm doing a low chaos Emily playthrough. And I'm going to be playing something else. I'm not sure what, because we just finished A Summer's End Hong Kong 1986 this past weekend. So that's going to be tomorrow and the rest of this weekend that I'm going to be playing some stuff. You can also check me out over on Twitter and Instagram. On Twitter, it's at St. Garla, as we usually with the LY at the end, and on Instagram, it's just Saint Guard. Yeah, that's me.
All right, over to Shae.
Hello, everyone. I am Shae, a member of Party Wave Gaming. You catch me here usually most days of the week. We dropped a couple of games, so not as many as there were, but most days of the week. I also have my own channel, which is twitch.tv/ShaeGem, ShaeGem, in which I do art streams mostly. I am actually did not do anything this week because I am revamping my price list and coming up with an overlay for my channel. I hope to make it look much nicer and a bit more professional. But we get to see those this weekend, perhaps, mostly, I hope. Other than that, I was considering playing or considering streaming Necrodancer, which I've never played before.
Crypt of the Necrodancer
Crypt
is
of the
one of my
Necrodancer,
favorites. It's so good.
Yeah, and I've never done it before, so it'll all be new to me.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm excited. I'm
yeah.
excited for you.
Oh, thank you. But I'll tie that into the schedule too, and I'll probably be like, okay, after I either win or lose with that game, I'll be like, so what should I draw from this now, and tie that into my art streams. It's an idea.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That is it for me.
Okay, right on over to Kelsa.
Hello, I'm Kelsa. I've really enjoyed running this stream tonight. I also have a stream on Mondays where we are playing a completely new system. We're playtesting Dark Lavender Void's Harvest Valley system, where basically it's like Harvest Moon or Stardew Valley, where we're our characters have lived in the big city and now we're living in a small farming town. Every season there are festivals, and we all have cute little interactions with each other and the valley, and it's pretty fun. So you can check that out every other Monday, twitch.tv/KelsaDelphi. You can follow me on Twitter at Kelsa, and you can watch my old shows on YouTube, also Kelsa Delphi. That's me. That's one of the two, besides, of course, running this game every Thursday.
Alrighty. Well, hi, I'm Rinden. You're currently watching our channel, Party Wipe Games. Thanks for stopping by and enjoying the show. As Shae mentioned, we've had a bit of a change up to our own scheduling. We've had a few games finish, a few games we put on the shelves due to scheduling conflicts, and waiting for the encounter roleplay, now called Penny for a Tale, casting calls to go out. Those won't start until February, probably in exactly a month, I think. So a lot of time is up in the air right now for us, but you can check us out Tuesdays, where we play Vampire the Masquerade. I run that one Wednesdays. There's currently nothing. Thursdays, of course, we are here. Fridays, there is nothing. Saturdays, we have restarted Descent into Avernus with a brand new game. That one's going pretty well so far. Sundays, we play Things from the Flood, and we haven't really played that in a while either due to scheduling conflicts and just not feeling well in general on my part. It's just kind of been hit or miss. The holidays are over, so we should be getting back into our regular streaming schedule. So long as in a week from now, the nation doesn't collapse and everybody dies or something. I'm sure it'll be fine. Listen, National Guard is authorized to use deadly force, so I'm sure that it'll be fine. Anyways, stay tuned. We'll find out. If you don't hear from us next week, it just means that we love you.
We love you.
Everybody have a great
Way to
night.
make that terrifying.
I know, it's kind of ominous, isn't it?
It sounds like a threat. If you don't see us next week, that just means that other thing that like
Sometimes we love you. It means
We're-
just we'll do our best to be there.
Will. You'll hear from us.
You'll
I'm
hear
sure.
from us, I'm sure. Yeah, exactly.
And if you don't hear from us, you'll hear from our lawyers.
Yeah, I mean,
We have lawyers? What?
Wow, that's new. I mean, we have that clip. We are lawyers. So
Okay.
I want to raid. I want to
Law
raid a
and law, the
Staney.
law office.
I want to raid a Staney, but I don't know how much longer she's going to be on.
Someone's birthday.
Yes, it is also Wanwan's birthday, and Diesel Shot are currently playing games, so it's kind of a three-way toss-up. I don't know how long the Staney's going to be on, so I don't want to send people over there for them to just
All
get
great
kicked
people,
over.
by the way.
Yeah, you
I
should
didn't
you should
hear.
all follow all of them if you're not following them currently. Maybe we'll do Wanwan since it's their birthday. Everybody give Wanwan some well wishes and happy birthdays to the good burb. So y'all have a good one, and we'll see you Saturday for some Descent into Avernus.
Yeah.
Saturday.
Night,
Wait,
everyone.